Antonio's Sports Center.
God bless and birds up. UTSA takes down number 2 Texas and wins the Austin Regional Championship. UTSA moves on to play UCLA in the Super Regional. The NBA Finals are set as the Pacers finished off the Knicks in Game 6 Saturday, 125-108. NBA Finals begin Thursday, a game you can catch right here. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody! How we doing? It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ, joined as always by the one and only Mr. Rob Thompson. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, sir. How was the many miles traveled?
You know what? It's over. It is what it is. It doesn't feel like I had a weekend.
Well, no, I imagine not.
Yeah.
But you saw a bit of the great Southwest.
Seen it.
Well,
Seen it. I've seen the mountain in West Texas that looks like a booby just sticking up out of the ground with just a.
the big nipple mountain.
Yep, I've seen it. I always take a picture of it and send it to my wife and say, everything reminds me of you.
Especially the left one.
She loves when I sweet talk her. She
Yeah.
loves it. Loves it. No, I made that story up, actually. I would never do that. I would never do that.
No, you never would.
No. I sent
I'm
that.
a voucher.
I sent that to my girlfriend, actually.
Yeah. To the Sancha.
Yes. I made the road trip, and half the squad is now here, all piled into my apartment right now, which is not ideal.
Well, I mean, it's short term.
Yeah.
You're getting your keys today, right?
Yes. Go by, get the keys today. I've got. They said, "What do you?" We signed our closing paperwork on Friday, so the house is closed. We gave them the check, and
Which, by the way, when we have time, I want to hear blah, blah, blah. We got you there on time on Friday.
oh yeah, but plenty of time. Yeah,
That's good to know. That it's possible that we can get on a flight that early.
I was on the plane, boarded at 10:30.
Well, dude, I thought any more time you would have been late in my mind because it was starting to pop on Friday when we dropped you off.
Easy peasy, baby, easy peasy.
Good. It's good to know.
And they said, you can overnight the paperwork, but they were like, if something goes wrong in the mail, then we'll have to push the date back and we have to re-sign papers. And I said, you know what? I'll be in town on Monday. I'll take the papers with me, and I will hand deliver them to you
like
on
put them
Monday.
in a metal suitcase with a
They're just in a big FedEx overnight envelope
with the handcuffs on it.
Yeah,
to
so I
make
just
sure that
trusted myself more than I
strapped it
trusted
to
them.
you with duct tape.
And when I slept Saturday night in El Paso, I made sure to take it upstairs with me.
Yeah, it is so bizarre the hoops you have to jump through to buy a house.
Oh yes.
I mean, I feel like I could buy a jet and sign less paperwork.
Well, it's different in Texas than in other states. In Nevada, like to sell my house in Nevada, my wife and I didn't have to be in the same room. We digitally signed things and sent them on our way. Texas doesn't allow that.
No,
you have to be in the because my wife and I are buying it. We have to be in the same room at the same time, and
it helps for billable hours for accountants and lawyers
and notaries.
And I'm serious.
Yeah.
There's a reason why this is all here. It's billable hours.
But my wife did. The mobile notary that came out was like, you need to consider doing this. And she started talking to my wife, and she was like, I do about 12 of these signings a day.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I make about $125, $150 per. And she's like, it's you can make six. She's a doctor. She went to she got her doctorate degree.
And is just doing notary service.
And now she does notary service because it pays better than being like a school psychiatrist or whatever it is.
But once you get in good with those realtors and they're calling you.
Oh, yeah. So it's my wife's like, oh, maybe that,
There you go. Maybe she can do that. You can retire.
Retire
to the hill country.
kick back with that notary money.
That's right, living on that big notary money.
Another detail about today's show that all of you should know. I am doing the show with no shoes on.
I know what happened, man.
That's a disconcerting sight, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You came strolling in here like Jesus this morning.
Yeah, when I got to work, I saw in the parking lot a kitty that, you know what?
Here we go.
See, we've seen this kitty before, but this was the first time you'd seen him?
The first time I've seen him, he looks like,
He does look like KBB.
he looks like Kitty Big Balls.
An older version. He looks like he's a little bit bigger.
Bigger version, probably better at fighting. This is probably the cat that kicks his ass and takes his food.
Or just avoids the fights all day. May not be better, just doesn't fight.
But what I do know is he avoids people, because I went over and I tried to see him, and I did find him. He was over on the side of the building, and he ran away, like zipped out of there. I was like, oh, okay, well, he's one of those cats, which I'm not interested in those cats anyway, so I'll never even, it is what it is.
Right.
And then as I'm walking to come into the building, I step in a marsh, and, obviously it's 4:30 in the morning. It's a little dark outside.
You can't see the puddle.
I didn't see that I was in the swamp of sadness from the Never-Ending Story, and I almost drowned like Artex the horse. Vic had to come pull me out. He's like, think good thoughts. Think good thoughts.
You can make it.
And he told me he reminded me that Kitty Big Balls died, and I started sinking further. And then he said, but King of the Hill episodes are coming back. And I was like, oh, yes, they are. And I got out. I got out of the
I
swamp
don't
of
get the
sadness.
reference. So this is from...
The Never-Ending Story?
You've
Never seen that movie?
No. Well, I have. That's the one with Tom Cruise, right?
No. No, this is like a
That's the...
1980s
Yeah.
cult classic.
Yeah, well, I know the song
Never-Ending Story.
by the great musician Lamal. Yeah, I thought Tom Cruise wasn't in that one?
No.
Oh, see, there's Lamal there singing. No, I remember this. I just don't... Wow, that's a deep reference. So,
That guy's old.
what's this Swamp of Sadness? you
So
speak of?
now the kid, his name's Atreyu. He's on his journey, and he's got to go and save the queen or the princess. I don't remember if she's a princess or a queen. I believe she's a princess now that I say it. But his horse, his trusty steed, is named Artax, and he is riding Artax, and they reach this swamp. And in the swamp of sadness, if you let your sad thoughts overtake you, you sink.
There it is right there,
So
Rob.
there's he's trying to walk him through, but Artax is like, this sucks, man. I'm giving up hope. And so Artax is like, I ain't going anywhere else.
Yeah.
And Atreyu says, no, Artax.
I missed this.
Yeah, he wants him. So now he's sinking lower and
Oh,
lower.
the poor horse is going to drown.
Yes, and what could be sadder for his human rider than A, his horse drowning in the swamp of sadness, and B, he's got to walk the rest of this journey.
By himself.
And the whole point is, if you let your sad thoughts overtake you, Atreyu too would drown. So, but Artax has given up hope. And
God, I need to go out and look at our parking lot. I had no idea.
yes, but
This
luckily,
is all going on out there, huh?
yeah, Vic pulled me out. He
Yeah.
pulled me out at the very end. It was
Almost had to get the winch.
yes, thank you, Vic. You saved me. You rescued me. Yeah, he got the winch from Jimmy's Jeep
Oh, yeah.
and rescued me from the swamp of
Well,
sadness.
I'm glad I have my assigned parking spot.
But my shoe was
Make
not
me
so
late.
lucky. My shoe is gone. It is victim of the swamp.
I moved it over here to dry it quicker.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so only my right shoe got
Good.
stuck in the swamp, but I'll just do the show barefoot today, no big deal, and
We'll
back
get
on the
over
grind.
the smell.
Yeah,
it'll all.
Rob, I've got very good grooming habits. Very good grooming
Except
habits.
one was in the swamp of sorrow earlier.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't speak for
I
the
hope you
grooming
don't
habits
lose
of
a
the
toe.
swamp of
Well, that's what I'm
sadness.
saying. There might be some kind of flesh-eating or at least happiness-eating bacteria.
It's like
It eats all the happiness out of your feet.
it's like walking along the beaches of Galveston. And
Yet again,
So
another
you got
flesh-eating disease.
One of your feet just rots off into the ocean.
Just lose it by the end of the weekend.
Yes. Man, what a week it was. We've got an NBA Finals ready to roll.
Starts sometime next month.
Yes, in 2028.
I can't wait for that to happen.
2028, we will get an NBA Finals between the Thunder and the Pacers. The Knicks.
Done.
Dude,
As we all knew.
Suck it, Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I think they're the. I get the most joy from them losing for some reason. I don't know why.
At least,
I wish
if they'd
this
have gone down valiantly. Maybe it would have been fun.
Like a game 7.
I think-
you know.
I think it's because I kept telling people the Knicks aren't as good as you think they are, and I was starting to get worried that maybe I was gonna have to eat some crow on the Knicks.
So were the Pacers, but no.
But no, the Knicks stink. So
Over and done with. Over and done with.
Beat it, Dunzo, and the odds.
Well,
are not in the favor of the Pacers.
No, not at all.
If for the series price, the Thunder are minus 570, which give the Thunder an 85% likelihood of winning the finals. If you want to bet the exact number of games in the series, 7 games would be a 7-2 plus 350. 6 games plus 320. 4 games, a sweep, would be plus 250. And 5 games is the most likely result, 2-1. So if you want the Thunder in 5, it pays plus 210.
Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6, plus 450.
Money's already down.
I think I won't bet it because I like the Thunder in 5. I think the Pacers might win a game by accident.
I'm not going to go that far. It's foregone, but I think I think it'll be closer than people expect, but it'll never be in doubt, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
I think it'll be hard fought. I think they'll be close on the road.
So you think that
but they're not Indiana.
The Thunder win the first 2 games by a million?
By a million.
And we're all going, well, this series is over, blah blah blah. And then the Pacers get game 3 by
Sneak one,
like on they hit a 3 and the shooter gets fouled at the end.
I do think that they're capable, and I say Oklahoma City is capable of laying an egg. We've watched them do it in 2 consecutive series where they roll out one game and it just ain't there, and they're willing to punt that game. They have the confidence that they can regroup and win again. So I think there'll be one egg drop game where they just don't show, and then one hard fought, but the rest will be blowouts.
Okay. Well, we will talk about the NBA Finals from a ratings perspective. In fact, we'll do that next. We'll discuss the ratings and the everybody was worried. Oh, if it's Oklahoma City, Indiana, oof, ratings nightmare, right? We'll talk about that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a closure this early morning on Wurzbach Parkway eastbound. Shut down 281 over to Jones-Malzberger. Major accident, cement truck rollover. So there is cement on the roadway. This could be a while before they get it completely cleaned and cleared up. Again, that's Wurzbach Parkway eastbound closed, 281 San Pedro over to Jones-Malzberger. And on the west side at Highway 90 eastbound just past 410, this wreck has 3 right lanes blocked. That's a 15-minute delay as you stop and go from Montgomery. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped And you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. Don't get caught off guard. Contact Barton & Associates today and get your freedom back before Father's Day. TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Come soon to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's, and My Lowe's Pro Rewards members can save even more with limited time deals. Right now, buy one, get one half off. Select HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Primer and Ceiling Paint. Plus, get free same-day delivery to your job site when you order by 2 p.m. Offer valid through 6/13, delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Look at what you see in your face.
Ah, the memories.
Mirror of her dreams. Oh, Rob knew a gal that was really into this band.
Yeah.
Debbie, wherever you are,
Lamar?
I'm thinking of you right now.
And the answer to a never-ending story.
See,
never-ending story.
This movie was ruined by their theme.
What?
That's
What a
good
song.
one.
What a song. Reach the stars.
The guy looks like Rod Stewart.
He is like a Walmart Rod Stewart.
He is definitely a Walmart Rod Stewart.
He's like if Rod Stewart had an illegitimate child with Billy Idol, it would be
him.
this guy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He made this song.
And Billy Idol would be really disappointed in him.
Yeah, Billy would beat the hell out of him.
Billy would be his abusive, drunken
He would be.
stepfather.
Get away from the mic.
Rod would be like, "Oh, come on, mate, he's not that bad."
No,
And Billy would be like, "Oh, he's a piece of trash.
Blimey!
He's a
Look
piece
at
of
him.
he's a piece of rubbish.
Look at him.
I've never seen someone such a loser."
Blimey. That's all I've got. It's my only British. Blimey.
All right. So one of the big concerns, and I don't know why everybody always worries about, what about the ratings? Oh,
Well.
the NBA is going to be so sad. No, they're not. Okay, so here's the deal. Indianapolis is the 25th media market in the country. Not ideal. Oklahoma City, they're the 47th media market in the country. That's not ideal. Now they're playing in the NBA Finals. The star power in this series, not ideal. You've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is probably the least, I don't want to say popular MVP because it was a popular decision that he won the MVP, but I would guess that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander probably has lower jersey sales than your typical NBA MVP does. He is a superstar player by talent, but is not a superstar. He is not a guy that if you throw his picture up on a commercial, everyone automatically,
Well, I mean, we see him a lot. I mean, we say that, but he is pretty omnipresent. I see him doing a lot of TV. I do, but he's a bit player,
but people don't know who he is.
That's it. But they're doing. You notice he's not marketed alone. He's marketed as a tandem.
Who's more recognizable, him or Chet Holmgren?
Well, Chet obviously, and he's part of that.
Gigantic beanpole white guy
So
is more recognizable.
They're doing their best. The argument about media, at least the home market size, I think has lost a little bit of its weight over the years. It's the relationship between fans and players has grown more than they have between fans and teams. So, Shai Gilgeous has a massive Twitter following. You know what I mean? So while it's not quantified by media market, there's a lot of fans out there that you can't really, you just got to go deeper into see how they're consuming this product. But no, it's not going to be one of those marquee, everybody in New York's going to tune in because that's our team kind of a series. But I think if they offer some compelling basketball, they'll be around. But this is going to go down as one of the lesser.
No,
it will.
There are some ways that the NBA will. This won't be like the maximum money they could have made.
No, but they've already made that money.
If the Knicks and the Lakers were in the finals, the amount of money they'd make from merchandise and things like that would go through the roof. But here's the deal. There's really not a correlation between ratings and financial success in the short term for the NBA because those rights are guaranteed.
Yeah, the
TV
money's already
revenues
made.
are already in the bank. The NBA was going to make the same amount of money for the rights to broadcast the NBA Finals this year if it was LeBron and Luka versus you name them, versus the Celtics or Thunder Pacers. Now, if you have a 10-year stretch of bad ratings, that's not ideal. But if no one watches these finals, guess what? The amount of money for next year's NBA Finals is it's already written in stone. It's not going to change.
Well, the basement is. The bottom is written in stone. You know the minimum you're going to make regardless. So, no, but we can admit the fact that it's just not going to be an overly watched just because it's on kind of event. It could grow momentum and make it must-see, well, I'm going to go find it. But right now, Oklahoma City, Indiana is not really it's flyover country. It's Midwest. It's not in the edges, and we will see a complete disinterest if Oklahoma City does what we think they're going to do. Now, we might tune in to see the beatdowns, but watch the numbers collapse after the tip, and by halftime, where are the numbers? I think the NBA is probably a little concerned about holding viewers. I don't think you want to have a trend of, they'll show up and then they'll leave if the product isn't compelling. Because football, once they get you, they stay. NFL, once you're on the TV, you don't leave those games.
What the NBA doesn't want is a sweep.
No, nightmare scenario.
They want this to be stretched out a little bit. They want you to perceive that there was a competitive NBA Finals. The other thing that they do lose out on is the gate. The idea. So just to put it into perspective, in the playoffs, the gate doesn't all go to the home team. There's a percentage of it that goes to the league, to the players' union. There's no public information is out about what the split actually is, but a portion of it does go to the league.
A little bit. Yeah, but I do know the Spurs for a long time used to tell us, and
that's odd because the Spurs don't tell you anything.
Well, this is also one of those weird accounting tricks. Well, we don't make a profit till the playoffs.
Right.
Which is, you can account your way into just about any statement like that. But I do know that the home gate in the playoffs does matter to the home team, especially for
sure.
markets like this. But they do split it. But we're talking peanuts. I mean, this is really, in the grand scheme of things, the gate for 2 or 3 games, at the end of the day, is minuscule to the TV money that was coming in.
Yes. But like the Knicks pull in $10 million for a conference finals gate.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder and Pacers won't come close to that.
Yeah, not
so
even close.
Just to put it into perspective, the Thunder, Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, the cheapest ticket you could get in the building for Game 5 of the Conference Finals. What do you think?
In Oklahoma City?
Yep.
Cheapest ticket? $550.
$172.
See?
And that was the most expensive in-the-door ticket in the franchise's history.
So is that documented, like, that would have been the most expensive I would have purchased off, like from StubHub?
TickPick, yeah.
So that's post aftermarket markup and everything else.
Yes.
Wow, what a cheap ticket!
And it costs the cheapest ticket to get into the Garden was over $400.
Yeah, okay.
So that puts into perspective. So if the Knicks are making $10 million on a gate, the Thunder are probably making $5 million if they're lucky.
If they're lucky.
But the truth is, the network. I mean, what the network would have preferred, a Lakers Celtics matchup or Knicks Lakers, sure. But the NBA is not worried about this. This isn't bad for the NBA. If anything, it might actually be good for the NBA to have some other markets that are, at least bought in.
Yeah.
Because you assume New York and LA, those markets are going to watch the NBA no matter what. Unlike Oklahoma City, which is once Oklahoma City's out of the playoffs, I doubt the ratings are very high in Oklahoma City. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I will say this: basketball fans are going to watch, but this is not ideal. And it'll also be interesting to watch the ad campaign as it's put together. Are they marketing the teams or players? Are we watching Thunder versus Pacer, or are we watching Gilgeous versus Halliburton? I mean, it'll depend on how they're going to throw names at me or teams at me. It's going to be interesting to see how they've chosen to market this, because the individual teams really aren't that big.
These two teams are both outside the top 20 largest media markets in the country. This is the first finals in NBA history where both teams are outside the top 20 media markets. Now, you got to remember, San Antonio here is, well, at least when the Spurs were in their prime, was a mid-30s media market.
And we're not much bigger now. And every time we played, we were always playing an East Coast team of size.
They always played a team from a much bigger market. And those viewership numbers certainly do dip when a team from the smaller markets are there.
Yes.
So it may be a dip. But the deal is they are trying to – the NBA is hoping that Shea, Tyrese can become stars in this series.
And I think they'll put it on us. And, that's the plan. That's why the league has gone to the idea that we'll make parity primary in the way that players are kept and maintained and drafted, and we'll put a second apron out there so small market teams can hold on to their players because they want a viable league where 15 teams every year, at least half the league, has a fighting chance to get into the playoffs, and a third of the league has a chance to win a playoff series, and a few teams have a chance to actually win a title every year. What do we got, 8 straight years now with different –
This seventh.
Seventh straight years. So if you want parity, you're going to end up with some small markets out there. That's the plan by the NBA. So they're fully aware their plan is working. The idea of 7 consecutive different champions lends itself to small market success. So this was built into the plan.
I'll explain the way the money works on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a closure this early morning on Wurzbach Parkway eastbound. Shut down 281 over to Jones-Malzberger. Major accident, cement truck rollover. So there is cement on the roadway. This could be a while before they get it completely cleaned and cleared up. Again, that's Wurzbach Parkway eastbound closed, 281 San Pedro over to Jones-Malzberger. And on the west side at Highway 90 eastbound just past 410, this wreck has 3 right lanes blocked. That's a 15-minute delay as you stop and go from Montgomery. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean subscription access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Yeah. All right. We were talking ratings, and I wanted to get into the money that they make here. So the way it works is every game that happens makes the team more money. It makes the teams, it makes the league, it makes the players. Everybody makes more money. ABC makes more money. Everybody's happier. If it goes to 7 games, everyone's happy. Not just because it's competitive, and that, if there's a game 7, everyone's going to watch. Because even people who haven't been interested in the rest of the series, they say, "Oh, well, the Thunder are on the ropes. Yeah, let's check that out tonight." But the way the networks do it is the networks sell. ABC has already sold these ads months ago. Now they sell them for, they sell them for 4 or 5 games, and then anything on top of that is just gravy that goes to the bottom line. They also project what the ratings will be, and if the ratings are lower than expected, the ABC they'll do some make good stuff to keep the advertisers happy. They're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna give you some time during Jimmy Kimmel or whatever it's gonna be." But the first round, they've got the most available games. Second round's great. If the finals go long, ABC's happy though. Obviously the viewership for Thunder Pacers, they're saying, could fall by 10% compared to last year if it only goes 4 games. 4 games. If the final goes more than 4 games, the last game is consistently the most viewed game of that series. A 7th game can double the viewership of the opening game. So Celtics-Lakers in 2010, or Game 7 of Cavs-Warriors in 2016 drew 12 million more viewers than Game 1 did. So everybody at the start of that 2016, it was like, "Oh, this is a sweep coming in." And then when there was a Game 7, all of a sudden everyone's interested. Now, for the purposes of the most lopsided favorites of all time, while the Thunder are a huge favorite here at -700, seems to be about the average price, it is the 7th highest line in the last 40 years. At -700, they're right there with the Thunder. It's the Thunder Pacers, Lakers Pistons in 2004. The Lakers were -700. Pistons won that series. That's the only time in this group in the top 10 that the underdog has won. And then the Celtics in 86 over the Rockets were -700 favorites. The ones that are higher than this, the Lakers over the Nets were -750 in 2002. Lakers and the Pacers, Lakers were -800 in 2000. The 99 Spurs were -900 against the Knicks. The 96 Bulls -950 against the Sonics, which, by the way, that's the only time the Bulls appeared on this list, which is surprising to me. You'd think after Jordan had won like 5 of them, it'd be like, oh, it's automatic. But,
well, no, because the teams in the West just couldn't measure up. But every year you felt like they had a contender, Yeah,
but it was also Michael Jordan.
I know,
no one
back,
bought into it.
Barkley will do it. No, Malone will do it. They just kept trying to throw dudes at him, and it never worked.
The 2018 Warriors were -1075 favorites over the Cavaliers, a series they won in 4 games. And the 2001 Lakers.
The best team in NBA history.
Is that in your opinion?
In my time in the world, that's the best team I've ever seen.
They were -2,000 against the 76ers that were basically Allen Iverson and
that was about it.
Nothing else. Yeah. And I think Iverson willed them to a Game 1 win.
Was it Game 1 or Game 3? I think it was Game 3.
Okay, but he did get them 1 win, and it was literally on his back, and that was all he could pull off. But that
about practice.
But so even though the Thunder are prohibitive favorites here, minus 700, it's not even close to the biggest lopsided series.
And the ones you brought up, while at least there was a superstar team involved.
Yes.
And this one, for basketball aficionados, we see this as the potential for something remarkable could be coming. You feel like we're watching that first year with the Golden State Warriors. These three dudes that are all really good and only going to get a whole lot better. You feel like this is the beginning of something. The other ones these are established superstars. We know everything about those stars. This is all going to be new stuff. People are going to learn about Shai Gilgeous this time. There's a lot of people don't know a whole lot about this trio. So I think there's a learning curve. I think that, but I don't think a lot of people are going to watch, man. I think there's going to be a couple of blowouts. I think the first 2 games could get really ugly really fast. And if it's a 2-0 going back to Indy and everybody knows this is foregone already, I just think it's going to decline unless the Pacers can offer a miraculous single performer. One dude, whether they're winning or losing, he's doing, something ridiculous. Or they're going to have to be very competitive deep. We're going to have to see games where we have to watch at the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter because all through the playoffs, the game began 4 minutes to go. And we're now used to that. There's 20-point swings at every one of our different playoff levels. First round, second round, third round. We've seen huge swings. I just don't think we're going to see that in this. I think we're going to get good front-running wins, and Oklahoma City just piles it on, man. So this is going to be a tough one to maintain interest.
I've been kind of saying, and the juice may be out of this one now. I don't know that it's worth even playing, but I've been saying if you wanted to get a little cheaper price on the Thunder, maybe the way to do it would be to bet Shai to win the Finals MVP. And you have gotten a little bit of value all throughout this thing. I bet Shai to win the MVP at plus 120 before the Western Conference Finals when the Thunder were even money to win the Finals. Now that they are minus 700, Shai is minus 600
of course,
to be the MVP.
Now, you got to be careful, though. Anybody who had money on Halliburton on the East got screwed.
Well, I don't think they got screwed.
Well, I'm just saying ahead of time, going into the last game, everybody thought, well, if they're going to win it all, Halliburton's going to get Eastern Conference.
I don't know. I mean, the Pacers they're not like the Thunder where, I mean, Siakam's the leading scorer on that team all year long.
Yeah, it was the right choice, but those that saw the Pacers go, if they're going to win this, it'll be because Halliburton is the MVP, and a lot of money went that direction. And even Halliburton thought he was about to go get that trophy. Did you see the video?
You remember that game? Yeah, you remember Game 5.
Remember when you only had 4 points?
You used to go sit down over there. We remember Game 5, Bubba.
Go sit next to your dad.
We remember Game 5. But yeah, Shai minus 600. Tyrese Halliburton, the second favorite, which that tells you something. The fact that the second and third favorites, Halliburton plus 650, Siakam plus 1,600, come from the Pacers, tell you how likely it is that if the Thunder do win, that Shai is the MVP.
Well, there's a year.
Jalen Williams is 28-1. He is the next favored Thunder player.
Well, Tony Parker got him a Finals MVP. I mean, the others can get it. It's just so freaking rare.
With this team in particular,
I can see a world where Jay Will goes nuts. You know what I mean? I can see a world where he has a couple of 3 games. You go, wow, even though he's not the best player on the team, he has the highest score. I mean, I'm just saying that I could see a world where a guy like Manu gets it where you're kind of like, you were great, but the reason we won was to him.
I can see a world where Chet goes nuts because Miles Turner is going to be guarding him.
Seriously. I can see a world where Shai's like, you know what? I'm going to give this. Everybody knows I'm the best player on this team, and if this dude leads us in scoring for a couple of games, I'm not upset if he gets it, but that Shai will win it. De facto.
I think so, too.
I think we can already engrave his trophy.
I think that's pretty safe. All right, let's hit our last break of the hour. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's 72-hour sale is happening now. Save up to 72% off on top brands, with queens starting at $149.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
South Texas summer is no joke. With temperatures in the triple digits, your roof takes a beating. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. They're local, family-owned, and ready to help. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from a team that knows South Texas weather. Whether it's commercial or residential, a small repair, or a whole new roof, get peace of mind with Stevens Roofing. Call 210-785-0994 today. Stevens Roofing has you covered.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by Tax Relief Advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147. Or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey! Oh, yeah. Morning Huddle. 94.1. Want a new drug, baby. I ate too much on Friday night.
Uh-oh.
Like, way too much.
Oh, you went to Peter Luger's, that's right.
I went to Peter Luger's Steakhouse in Caesars.
What'd you get?
Well, that's...
we got a steak for two.
You didn't get the chicken?
Please. I don't get chicken. No, we got a ribeye for two.
Okay. Okay.
my wife was like,
Was it 16 ounce or what?
"Oh no, friend, it was like,
Peter Luger. You don't even get the
92
door
ounce?
with 32.
yeah,
ounce
yeah.
or
It's like
bigger.
a 40 ounce.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh.
humongous steak,
Okay.
and
It's raw.
my wife, yeah, my wife accepted that we would do rare.
Okay.
And
You don't do rare. You do blue.
I know, and that was my compromise. She likes medium rare. I like blue, but we compromised at rare.
It's rare. Okay.
So
And-
that was cooked at least.
And they bring it out, and it's already pre-sliced. Like they cut it off the bone and pre-slice it, which much to the joy of my dog when we got home with the bone. But I had that. We had a baked potato is like the size of my head. And then we had creamed spinach. We had crab cakes. I mean, everything was amazing. But I ate way too much and probably drank a little too much. And I woke up in the middle of the night and gave all of it back to Pete. All my dinner back. And I was like,
you had a reversal? You had a reversal.
Yeah.
You ate that much steak?
I ate that much, and I remember like I was laying in bed, and I had the meat sweats. I was like, and I knew I should have stopped eating, but it was so good. It was so good, and then
I know that feeling.
and I just I got up and I was like, oh, damn it, very disappointing to give it back. Very disappointing to give it back, and again, I don't think there was anything wrong with it. I think it was
It was overcooked.
No, it wasn't that. I think I overindulged is what's happened. I overindulged a bit, but great meal, and it was nice that it was on the house.
Yeah, I'd
my
forgotten
last
Luger's.
on the house meal.
I forgot Luger's brings it to you cut.
Yeah.
And that butter on
Yep.
that searing plate.
And then they bring you bread with their Peter Luger sauce, which here's the big secret. And they're like, you can put our Peter Luger sauce on everything. Peter Luger sauce.
Chick-fil-A sauce?
It's barbecue sauce.
I don't like it.
It's just barbecue
I
sauce.
don't like it.
And they're like, put it on your bread.
Why?
And
Why?
I
I
go,
don't like it.
all right. So I put some on the bread, and I'm like, this tastes like barbecue sauce on bread. And then they're like, put it on your steak. And I'm like, I don't do that. I don't put barbecue sauce on my bone-in ribeye. No thanks.
Or any sauce, much less.
Yeah. So, but yeah, delightful meal, and I want to thank Mr. Caesar for his final
Julius?
contribution.
Or Ed?
Julius, Augustus, all of the Caesar family.
Sid?
Yeah, Sid Gustus. They all partook in my final Vegas meal. Or
Well,
at
now
least my
you're in San Antonio, you can go to the Hungry Heifer every weekend.
Get to the time machine.
Get yourself over to the Hungry Heifer. Get your unlimited sirloin bucket.
The Little Red Barn. That's where Vic tells me to go.
Oh, no, that's upgrade. No, look, no, that's fancy eating. I'm talking about the Hungry Heifer.
I don't know what the Hungry Heifer is. That's a real place?
No.
Oh, okay.
It should be.
Okay.
If I had a restaurant, I'd name it the Hungry Heifer.
If I had a strip club, I'd name it the Hungry Heifer.
No, it could be the same. It's kind of like the magic that became Buc-ee's.
That's
wait
right.
a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Gas station and a grocery store? Now we're talking.
I always drive by that time machine place. And
Magic Time Machine.
And my kid's been like, what is that?
It's only been a restaurant in San Antonio for like 70 years.
Yeah, apparently I was like, I think it's a restaurant. I don't know what.
It's a variety of themed meals. You can have like a Roman orgy. You go in and you're served by, you can, it's weird. You have to be of age. No, but you can go in and have, it's like a themed restaurant.
So it's not a kid-friendly place?
Oh, very kid-friendly. Yeah. Ideally, it's perfect for kids.
But just not the Roman orgy meal.
Well, no, the Roman orgy, they're just bringing in all, I mean, I'm just saying you get a themed room and you have a themed night, and there's all kinds of stuff. That's been 20 years since I've been there, but they're still doing the same thing.
Vic, you been there before?
Oh, yeah, about 20 years ago.
I mean, this has been around San Antonio. Everybody at some point has made it through Magic Time Machine. It's been open for so long.
I can't
believe look at all the different themes they have. So you go in and you got...
There's the staff right there.
Yeah, and they just kind of have these kind of crazy-ass meals.
Is the food any good?
I don't think you're going there for the food, but yeah.
Okay, it's for the experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, see, I mean, it's a pub grub, but it's the lots of kids and stuff, so.
Okay. I'm surprised that a place like that stayed
I
open.
forgot the salad bar was a car.
I think
salad bar. Get out of here.
My memory is correct.
Salad bar.
I believe it's owned by Frontier, which is the Hasslockers that have owned gyms and ran the Tower restaurant forever. So it's kind of a local.
Okay. Ooh, I like that that Wonder Woman.
Check this.
Yeah.
She's a little torta.
She's a little heifer.
Oh yeah,
That's one of
a
those
hungry heifer.
Ah.
It's like if Wonder Woman hit the buffet. Come on, Wonder Woman, we've got to save the world. Oh, I can't right now. Oh my God, I just ate so much. I like it though.
But it's a cool place, man. You should go at least once.
All right, yeah, I'll give it a try. My
They
son.
have alcohol.
Okay, well, yeah, you got to. It looks like the alcohol smokes too. That's interesting. All right, friends, we'll continue the conversation on the other side. College baseball, big news for San Antonio. Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Divorce isn't failure, it's freedom. And when you have the right team behind you, it's a whole lot easier. Get your freedom back before Father's Day and avoid getting stuck with just half. Contact Barton & Associates now at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I want to learn how to cook
but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We still have this closure on the north side on Wurzbach, eastbound, westbound, Jones-Mossberger to 281. Closed with a cement truck rollover accident. So it could be there for a little bit before they get that completely cleaned and cleared up. On 35, lower level and upper level, southbound Alamo to Laredo closed with road work, and it looks like we do have a stall on 35 southbound at Rittiman. It's on the frontage road. It is taking up a right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
God bless and birds up. UTSA takes down number 2 Texas and wins the Austin Regional Championship. UTSA moves on to play UCLA in the Super Regional. The NBA Finals are set as the Pacers finished off the Knicks in Game 6 Saturday, 125-108. NBA Finals begin Thursday, a game you can catch right here. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Hey! There we go. There we go. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm pulling up the Brigade Bar. I haven't had it up today. You said, who eats their steak with ketchup?
Trevino, man.
Vince.
Come on, Vince.
What a terrible person.
I usually eat steak with ketchup.
Well, see, the problem, that just tells me you need to upgrade the quality of your meat. If you have to put ketchup on it.
The farthest I'll go is A1.
And there's nothing wrong with a little A1 every now and again. Yeah. I'm not going to downgrade that. But even then, you're kind of stepping into some gray areas in the world.
Because you probably got gray meat.
But ketchup, dude, don't even eat a steak. Just don't. Why? If you feel the need to have to put ketchup on it, go get yourself a chicken cutlet.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's Whataburger ketchup.
Or hamburger steak. It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter to you.
There was a time when, when I was a kid, I liked to order a Philly cheesesteak, and I would put ketchup on it.
Really?
Things I would never do as a grown-up, because eventually your taste buds evolve, and you don't just eat Dino Nuggets and French fries. You start to eat big boy foods.
Right.
And, it's just like the way the face you make when you first take a sip of bourbon when you're 9 years old versus
when you're 11 when you drink it regularly.
Yeah, versus when you're 45 and you're drinking it on the road trip is very different. It's very different faces that you make. Ketchup as an adult on a steak means that it's somewhere along the way you Peter Panned it. You just decided I'm never growing up. I'm never growing up.
Well, it makes me think you haven't had a good cut of meat. I mean, why? If you had a decent steak, the desire wouldn't even be there. You wouldn't even go, oh, I want ketchup.
No, it doesn't need anything.
So I think we just need to upgrade the menu just a little bit.
Well, he's saying chicken fried steak with ketchup. That's different.
Well, even that's a little weird.
That's not my thing, but
that's Ryan Eagle's a ketchup on chicken fried steak kind of guy. That's a little weird too.
That is a little weird. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, to each their own. But what are you gonna do? What you can't these people, you can't convince them. Can't convince anybody of nothing around here. Nope. James says, Old San Francisco Steakhouse, watch a woman kick a bell.
Oh, yeah.
Is there still an Old San Francisco here?
No, well, I think the building's still here. But
was it off of Rector Drive?
It was up there off 281. Well, it's San Pedro North.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
over there by the Heroes and Legacy, whatever.
Yes,
Right over
yes.
back in there.
I know where
that used to be. The San Francisco Steakhouse back in the day was like a...
Yeah, it was a staple.
You go get that big wheel of cheese. Remember that? The cheese and the girl on the swing? Yeah.
Good
stuff,
Good
man.
old time.
It's closed down now?
Yeah, it probably didn't make it through COVID. I think COVID killed it.
Yeah, COVID killed a lot.
R.I.P. R.I.P., baby. R.I.P. Yeah, I've the barn door is what it's called, not the Little Red Barn. Is that did I say it wrong?
We have both. There's the barn door and the Little Red Barn. We have both.
Oh, okay. And then Chris says, damn, I don't eat no steak rare. Mid-rare, medium, but definitely not rare.
Well, I mean, every steak's different.
That's opposite of AJ.
You don't want to go any more than medium, I'll tell you that.
Now, mind you, I don't, if I were eating a steak at Applebee's, I ain't getting it blue.
No.
The nicer the steakhouse, the less I want my steak cooked.
I just can't do blue. It's just a thing with me. I get it. I certainly appreciate those that can. It's a texture thing. It's not about flavor.
But have you tried it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a texture thing. I don't like that texture. I need it to be cooked a little bit more.
My wife doesn't like it because it's cold. There's
a little bit of cold.
Literally,
but it's a little chewy for me. I prefer it to be a little bit more done. But then again, great cuts of meat, you need to have them cooked.
Exactly. All right. Enough food talk for at least the morning.
I know I'm hungry now.
I know. Oh, my gosh. God bless Birds Up. How about it? UTSA is on to those super regionals, baby. They knock off the Longhorns Day, Texas.
I feel like right now, before we go any further, we should follow what their plan is. And from this point on, I think we need to help them with their marketing because now they can truly separate themselves. Remember, the idea is for them to go from being known as UTSA to UT San Antonio. Remember that and this is their first entrance with this new plan on the national stage. So I think it behooves. I got to get used to it.
Yeah,
because it's still Southwest Texas up there in San Marcos.
Why don't they go with would it be better if they were Texas San Antonio?
I don't know what was UTSA. I don't think they want to get lost in the UTEP-ness of it. UTEP is UTEP and will always be UTEP. Where's UTEP? I think they're in El Paso.
Yeah.
That's. I think they want to be UT San Antonio because at least it designates a place and a little bit of a separation from UT, maybe? I don't know. But that's their plan.
But they don't want to be called the University of Texas at San Antonio.
No, they want UT San Antonio. That's their press release.
They want to separate themselves from Texas.
But not too much.
But not all the way.
No, because we need the money.
Right. I don't get that. Whatever. Either way, you talk about a coup for your athletic department.
This is such a big deal. It really is. And we thought football would be the breakout, but basketball is still a program in development.
That's a long way.
But go ahead. I think it proves that, again, San Antonio and South Texas is a baseball hotbed. You get the right coach and you recruit well around this area, you can win.
Yeah. They certainly have some players, and that's the other thing about baseball is the best teams in the world are going to lose. They're going to get swept sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Wrong pitcher, wrrong day.
And Texas and Oregon, who were the top two teams in the country, gone.
Vandy,
gone. Although Vandy was getting, they got 6 innings of no hit thrown against them in their first game, and then came back and won. But yeah, it's certainly one of those sports where you can kind of come back and make something happen. But what I'll tell you is, and I didn't watch these games. I was on the road, so I was certainly keeping up with it. I wanted to see if they were able to get the job done, and I got to listen to a little bit of it on Sirius, and 23 strikeouts in the 2 games against Texas. I should say the Longhorns struck out 23 times against UTSA pitching in 2 games. 23 strikeouts in 18 innings is absurd. That is dominant pitching, and it's again, I didn't watch it. My guess is there was some overswinging, some trying to get it all back right away.
Get behind, and there's a lot of runs. I mean, this was a busy game. 16 runs scored.
Oh yeah. So either way, very cool thing for San Antonio and for UTSA to get that job done. Knocked off the Longhorns, who were the number 2 seed in the whole damn thing, and they gone.
They left 14 dudes on base.
That's terrible. That is
That's
terrible.
when you go home and cry into your pillow, man.
But yeah, congratulations, UTSA. They'll play UCLA next. And it's a 2 out of 3 series. And I guess the way UTSA, I mean, again, I haven't watched a lot of UTSA baseball this season, if I'm being honest. But the first game against Texas, I don't think anybody threw more than 3 innings. Like it was, they do a really, I mean, it's not like they're
a committee.
Yeah, it does seem to be a committee. The second game, they threw a kid named Gunnar Brown for 5 innings to start, and then they went to the bullpen after that. But for the most part, it seems like it's just whoever's the hot hand gets the baseball and go make it happen. And the bats were working, and they jumped out to a lead and were able to hold on. So congrats to the Roadrunners, the UT San Antonio Roadrunners.
UT San Antonio.
And good luck now beating those California boys. And hopefully we see UTSA or UT San Antonio, pardon me. Hopefully we see them up. I know it's going to be almost impossible. We'll see them up there at the College World Series at Omaha. So Ben says UTSA is yet to lose back-to-back games. Okay. All right. I see, Birds. God bless Birds up. 46-13. You don't do that by accident. I don't care what conference you're playing in. I don't care what your schedule looks like. If you are winning, basically 75, 80% of your games, then you're doing something right. Yeah. So congrats to them, to the Roadrunners, and again, hopefully it keeps on rolling. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a college baseball expert. I am not. I do not watch a lot of college baseball.
I play one on the radio.
And this, in fact, as someone who's been kicking tires on colleges for the last year for my kid, I should know more about college baseball than I do, but I just do not follow the sport very closely. But again, I know good when I see it, and UTSA going to the super regionals, obviously a big deal for the local folk around here.
I want to go to Omaha's still a bucket list thing. Never been
either. My buddy, one of my old bosses, in fact, ran the station in Omaha that carries it, and ran the national broadcast for the College World Series. So he got to run it for a while and just get to soak it all in. Apparently, it's a very cool place.
A week in Omaha sounds like a sentence after a crime, but I would like to. I would like to actually get sentenced to a week in Omaha to go see them.
Omaha is one of those cities that I think people always say, you think of it one way until you go.
Well, I've been to Omaha. I've been to Offutt Air Force Base once or twice.
Okay,
I've
never been.
Omaha. It's not a bad town, but there's just about 3 days. You've done it.
Yeah,
you've seen it all.
Yeah, that's probably fair. What's a city you've gone to where when you got there it was better than you thought it was going to be?
Oh, Cleveland.
Okay,
Cleveland. I've had every time. Like I say, I haven't been every time, but the times I've gone, I've wanted to go back.
And the expectations were very low.
Well, you forget that they've got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a little while south of there, and they've got this whole downtown like brick town kind of setup. It's a good town. It really is.
Mine's Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee, another good town.
Milwaukee, a much better town than I anticipated it being.
Smaller. Than I had. I mean, it's half the size of Austin.
Yep,
it feels like. Yeah.
So I did not expect Milwaukee to be a place, but good town.
I haven't been there in the winter though.
No, I don't go places like that. I don't go cold places in the winter. I'm against it. Keep that nonsense to yourself. My wife's dad died like over Christmas a couple years ago.
Okay.
and we had to go up for a funeral during December to the middle of nowhere, Oregon, like Central Oregon in the mountains.
Oh, that's a day.
Oh, it was so miserable. And I love it up there. I love going up there in the summertime because in the summertime, it's like the highs up there in the mountains will be like 83. And
they're dying.
And then at night,
it's probably in the 60s.
you have to wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
The houses there don't have central air conditioning because they're like, we don't use air conditioning. We don't need it.
I
but
freak
it's
out on that.
But it's awesome. And then but you go there in the wintertime and it's like you're chopping wood. It's a terrible. I hate cold places.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about being in the military. People get to experience what it's like up there. Going, I'm good.
Out.
I don't need this.
I am out. Vince says Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's a good town.
James says Birmingham, Alabama.
No, Birmingham stinks.
I've never been to Birmingham.
It's got that paper mill that just, you get in close, it stinks.
I generally
like paper or what?
No, ever been around a paper mill? No, paper mills smell awful.
Oh.
Indiana is the worst smelling state that I've been through, where it's like just generally has the smell of pig feces. I don't like that. We did a drive from Fort Campbell, Kentucky to Chicago once, and went through Indiana, and it was like seeping through the air conditioning vents, and it's like, dude, we gotta.
That's what they use to fertilize the corn, I guess.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it is dreadful. All right. Enough college baseball talk for the day. We will return to college baseball talk if and when UT San Antonio wins again. And then if they do, Rob and I will be experts on
I will be fully engrossed.
UTSA baseball. I'll learn the players' names, and we'll be ready to talk about it. And I'll pretend like we've been watching all year, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, Kelly. Obviously, he was primed for a big game here." And we'll do that kind of talk that will trick you guys, the audience, into thinking that Rob and I are college baseball experts. We will be ready for it. That's what happens to me every time the NCAA tournament comes around, because I bet on college basketball all year round, so I follow it all year round. And then when we get to March, inevitably there are people who be like, "You don't know what you're talking about," and then they're naming 3 players that they've heard of that they read about in an article before the tournament started because they don't watch college basketball. And then they tell me that I don't know anything about college basketball. That's going to be me with college baseball. Somebody's going to say, "Kelly, he's not even on the team," and I'm going to say, "Please, I'm an expert."
Who?
Kelly Leak.
Oh,
yeah, Kelly Leak's all grown up and plays for UT San Antonio.
Well, actually, I hate to say this, but I think Kelly Leak actually lives here in San Antonio.
What?
Yeah.
Why haven't we had him on?
Because he doesn't act anymore. He's just a dude.
Whatever.
I believe. No, I'm not kidding. I think he lives here in town.
Let's talk to him. Vic?
Yeah, let me call him.
That's your producing job.
Well,
Make
he
it
went
happen,
on to
Captain.
do some other stuff, though. No, I'm sure of it now. He's San Antonio.
That's awesome. I want to meet him. Like the OG one, right? Not from
The
like this
OG.
stupid remake.
Yeah.
With Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, no offense. That one was decent. But I'm talking about the OG. Yeah, Buttermaker. He lives here? You sure?
I'm pretty sure. Jackie Earl Haley, yeah.
Okay. Did he ever do anything besides Bad News Bears?
Yeah, he did some. Yes, he did a couple stuff. He did the one I remember. He was the guy who won the check in with the Tropics with. He was the one. Remember, he made the shot.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't count.
Fake check. That's him. He hadn't been on, but I think Jackie Earl lives here in San Antonio. I'm
nice.
Not sure.
Border Jumper says, yeah, he does.
Yeah. I ran into him in a bar a couple years back. I was like, "Hey, you're the dude." Yes, he is.
Kelly Leak.
He's bald now, and he's a little tiny dude.
I'm bald now too.
Well, yeah.
That's
Long-time
something we
resident
have
of
in
San
common.
Antonio. That's right. So it all comes together. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Chris says New York stunk to me. The street, the city smells just different.
Now it smells like weed.
Yeah, there is something to New York has a faint smell of garbage in the air at all times.
No, I disagree with that. I've been there when the garbage in the middle of summer when garbage doesn't get picked up for a day.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Just part of the allure. I mean,
but when you live in
now it smells like weed.
Anytime you're in a big downtown area, it's
Chicago or New York.
How long am I staying?
5 days.
In Chicago.
Really?
Yeah. New York, 3 or less.
Oh, see, I'm the other way around. I like Chicago to an extent, but I could stay in New York for a minute.
Yeah, I'm good with New York in small bursts. Small bursts.
No, I mean, I like Chicago. I'm not trying to downgrade, but I just have more fun.
All right, let's hit a break. We got plenty more to talk about, and I want to get your final thoughts on the Knicks Pacers on the other side. And we have a story that is normally I save all my non-sports stories for one segment, but there's a topic that I think we need to discuss on a little bit deeper level. So we'll do that coming up this hour as well. Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
You know, some people are just good at everything. You know, gymnastics, sucking crawfish. Some people just are multi-talented. Very educational. We still got 45 minutes to go.
All I know is you're not walking down the hall to go to the bathroom during this break.
No, I'm not.
Ride home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Claymore says, Rob sleeps with his dog in his bed, so it's no surprise he's fine with the smell of New York.
Oh, yeah, you do sleep with a dog.
Wow, Claymore just went violent. My dog has something to say to you.
Damn.
You don't know
That's
how
a
dirty.
big dog,
My dog's clean.
Smelly-ass dog.
My dog's clean. Dog spends more time inside than I do.
I don't let my dogs in the bed. I don't care where they stay.
Mine right next to me. Mine turns the TV off for me.
Hell no. Get your ass. I mean, where's your wife sleep? On the couch?
On the other side of the dog.
Oh, no.
They're in order of
How big
importance.
is your bed?
Got one to keep everybody happy.
California Queen King or something?
No, not for me. Hey, big news for San Antonio. The UFC, they had a disastrous card over the weekend at the Apex. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. The fight stunk. The main event.
Like, what else what do you mean went wrong? What happened?
So right before the co-main event happened, and then they play the promo for the two girls that are about to fight in the main event.
That's right. It was a female head.
And so you see, like, it's the hype up promo, and after that promo plays, the walkout music hits. And instead, after the promo played, instead of the walkout music, it went back to the announcing table.
And they were just sitting there.
And they said, so far, Macy Barber has not walked out to the cage. We're not sure what's going on. We're gonna try and get some more information and see what's going on. And then about 3 minutes later, they come back and say, the main event's canceled. Macy Barber could not walk to the cage. She was not medically cleared to fight. She had a seizure about 5 minutes before the main event started. What? And boom, fight's off. They are so lucky that this was an Apex fight because in the Apex there's about 150 people.
Right.
It's not a lot of people watching. Imagine there's 15, 20,000 people in the audience pissed off that the main event's not happening. Imagine what gets thrown into the cage and things like that.
Thank God she didn't have a seizure right there in the state.
You're right.
Cage.
You are right. But so that was disastrous. But the good news.
So where are they moving it to? Do we know the locale, the venue?
Yeah, the Noche UFC is going to be in San Antonio. That's the event that they've started traditionally holding an event on Mexican Independence Day, and the card was supposed to be in Guadalajara. They're building a new stadium there. This is usually one of the bigger cards of the year for them. This is the one they did in the Sphere last year that they got nominated for a bunch of Emmys and stuff for. It is going to be moved to San Antonio. The arena's not ready to go, so they said, yeah.
They coming to our arena? They coming to the Tech Fort?
Frost Bank Center.
They're coming to the Frost Bank Center, right.
Now, the downside is it is no longer going to be a pay-per-view event. It was supposed to be UFC 320. They've now made it a fight night, which means there's probably not going to be a big title fight. It's not going to be this huge mega event, which is a little disappointing. But
this will be September 15th.
It will be, is it 15th?
Well, the says.
Yeah, it's the Saturday around there.
Right,
Whatever.
I'm trying to work our way between so it'll be that Saturday?
Yeah. All
right, well, then you got something to look forward to.
Yep. So, and it's September 13th.
13th.
Already put the text in to my guys at the UFC and said, hey, I'll help you promote it however we can. You want to get some fighters in here for us? I said, also, just so you know, we have a couple of Spanish-speaking stations, so they can promote via the Spanish-speaking stations. I'm being a team player. I'm trying to build up the audiences here. But the UFC, historically, when they've come to the city that I'm working in, they have been very
Won't that be the
very
weekend
good to
that
us.
we're normally in Vegas for Canelo?
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work out. Because the word is Canelo's going to fight in Abu Dhabi on Mexican Independence Day, which makes total sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where I go.
That's where there's a lot of Mexicans in Abu Dhabi. I've noted.
Well, they can't come here anymore.
Yeah, Vic, you've been over there, right?
Nah,
Yeah.
you know I don't go anywhere.
You don't go to Abu Dhabi?
Nah, just on video calls.
So all your Tios and Tias go, but you stay back.
Yeah, I stay here. You know I don't fly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, most Mexicans go to Abu Dhabi. Vic's the only one. He's the exception to the rule. Yeah. Exception to the rule. So either way, big news for San Antonio getting a UFC card, which is always exciting. And my guess is it will probably be lower level than a pay-per-view, but they'll still want to do it up big because it's Mexican Independence Day. So, and they're trying to make this Noche UFC like a big event. So I'm guessing they'll still do a pretty solid headliner, if not a title fight. Okay. Elsewhere in the wide world of sports, the Knicks gone fishing, and the Pacers. This game was never really in doubt. They dominated pretty much start to finish. I don't think there's any doubt about who the better team was in this series. The Pacers just kind of whooped them.
No, they beat them. A better team won. A hotter team won. Deeper team won. Team with a better player won. But I mean, team with the better players won. I don't think the Knicks are really in a bad place. I think that if I'm a Knicks fan, I see a team that's primed to continue to do well. If I maybe shore up a couple places, I'm not even sure what I need to shore up. I think Mikal Bridges needs to get a little older. Maybe you get a little bit more of a presence at your post to allow Carl Anthony to do a little bit more. But I think if I'm a Knicks fan, yeah, you're devastated. But this team squeezed a lot of juice out of this lime, and I think there's some more to be had. I don't think you change a whole lot with the Knicks. I think you can go into the offseason pretty comfortable that we're set up for the next 3 years. If we just find the right piece, we'll be back here again.
Well, don't you only have one more year before the players get tired of Thibs, right?
Well, I think that's the one question that's going to be chewed on for the next couple of weeks. Seriously, is can Tibbs take you past where you've come?
For whatever reason, people are like, no, enough of this guy.
Well, I mean, he does have a shelf life. There's coaches with shelf lives, and he might be reaching that limit. But I do think after this series, I don't think any less of Tibbs. I think he coached all he could. I'd like to see him open up his bench, but that's been a problem with him forever.
Here is what Tibbs had to say, his message to the team after the loss.
Yeah, I think, and again, there's disappointment because you fall short of what your goal is. Right, and in the end, there's only going to be one team that achieves the goal, and so I think the challenge for us is to look at it for what it is, and it's, we finished in the top 3, but we're falling short of the ultimate goal, and so for us, it's to use that for motivation and determination to work all summer to prepare ourselves to make the final step and keep improving so we can achieve our goal. And I think that's the way we have to approach it, and that's the way we have to look at it. So it's improvement from last year, but it's ultimately not what our ultimate goal is.
Well, it sounds like he's saying all the things he's supposed to say. Well, they also asked Jalen Brunson about Tibbs and if Jalen Brunson feels like Tibbs is the guy who's going to get them where they need to go.
Jalen, when you talk about the confidence, obviously, I feel like nobody takes more criticism than Tom, and this team obviously has turned around during his tenure. Do you kind of feel that going forward he's the same guy to lift you guys the rest of the way, that next level?
Is that a real question right now?
I get every time I turn on ESPN.
You just asked me if I believe that if he's the right guy. Yes.
Yes. So
Your star player bought in. And that's really the question that I'm seeing it kicked around on the Nationals today. Can a team led by Jalen Brunson win a title? So if you ask that question and it's no, then what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, nothing. You either get a superstar and no. Yeah, the easy answer is no. Jalen Brunson has to be the second best player on a team that wins a title.
Well, that's not going to be fixed.
No.
If you go in knowing that you have to get somebody better than Brunson, do you feel like you can bring Karl Anthony up? Can you improve or at least
Karl Anthony Towns can't be the best player on a title team.
But you can. I mean, once you elevate those guys, you might be able to get a foundation. Mikal Bridges, is that a guy that you feel like I need to invest in him, or is he the piece that you're going to have to move to go get what
More
you
than
feel
likely,
like you
yeah.
need?
The guy, the best player on a Knicks title team isn't on this team right now.
Well, then there won't be a Knicks title team.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's where I don't think that they're good enough with just Jalen Brunson either. But I do think they're in a position where I don't know what I do other than find a peripheral part and run this back one more time.
I think that's all you can do. It goes back to what we talked about at the start, earlier in these playoffs. If you don't have one of the 5 best players in the world on your team, the chances that you're going to win the NBA title, I mean, historically, you go back to, what are we talking about now? 45 years, it's happened one time.
Oh, but it'll never be more available than it is right now. 7th straight year with a different champion. I mean, the league is trying to put itself to where you don't necessarily have to have one of those guys.
But once again,
we're still there.
7 straight years, but either the guys are shuffling around or somebody's a different player at a different time. And the assumption now, if the Pacers win this series, which I guess in some universe is a real possibility, if they do win this series, then that would break that mold. And obviously, if Jalen Brunson were to ever win one, it would break that mold. Jalen Brunson's not going to be. He's never going to be a top 5 player in the NBA. He's not that kind of a player. Jalen Brunson can be a top 20 player in the NBA, and
well, he can be a top 5 player for a stretch. You just got to find the right stretch.
But that's not what happened. Again, we've gone through the history of it. Like you are the dude when you win the NBA when you win the NBA Finals. Like there has to be someone who's had like a special season who has established themselves as the dude, and I just don't see Jalen Brunson as that.
Not yet. Well, no, he never will.
He's never going to be.
But I do see a world where they can contend. I do think that.
This is the world. They just contended.
Well, no, continue to. I think that the defense that they brought and the team that they put together, they're still worth another run with another dude. And I think that Brunson can play a role in a title team, but I don't think he can lead one by any stretch. And I think Karl Anthony's probably in the same boat.
Yeah. Especially because when you look at who are the top 5 players in the NBA right now, the guys in the Eastern Conference that can lay claim to that discussion, one is Giannis, who wants out. The other is Joel Embiid, who can never stay healthy.
Well, I think he's long gone. But Brunson is hot enough to be considered. I mean, when you're laying 25 a night in the semis,
we can't confuse a hot run with.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can be hot. I mean, you can get a guy hot enough to be the best player in the league for 4 or 5, 6 games. He doesn't have to be the best. He doesn't have to be the MVP. He just got to be hot at the right time. And I know Brunson is capable of going on a heater to carry you, but that's such witchcraft to get you in the right place at the right time with the right dudes and then get hot that, you have to have too many things to go right. But all that being said, I look at the Knicks going home, and I look at the Timberwolves going home, and I'm a lot more comfortable with the Knicks' plans than I am with the Timberwolves.
See, I kind of lean the other way, only because I still feel like someday Anthony Edwards could turn into one of those top 5 players in the league type of guys.
I think my timeline just got a lot longer. I'm more on the side of Dame Lillard.
Like you think that's what he is? And he might be. He very well might be, but he's still – at least he's young enough that you can see a world where there's that upside.
Yeah, but
Jalen Brunson is what he is. This is the best Jalen Brunson that exists.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going anywhere.
Yeah, but it's not good enough.
Well, no, not that. No, it will never be good enough on its own. I don't believe Anthony Edwards will ever be good enough on his own.
Okay.
This year showed me that there's limitations to his game that I don't think will be overcome in time for him to get on a team, at least in Minnesota.
I lean to agreeing with you. I generally believe if you're not in the MVP discussion, you're not a top 5 player in the league. Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson right now are nowhere near an MVP discussion. And which, by the way, neither is Tyrese Halliburton, neither is Pascal Siakam. There's one guy right now who's playing that is in that discussion. And that's why I think it's a foregone conclusion, just because history tells us that that's the way it is. And unless you add, and that's why when we talked about adding Giannis to the Spurs, that's the appeal of that to me is when you have one of the top 5 players in the world, you are suddenly in the conversation automatically.
I'm not sure. Are we doing chicken or egg here? Just because you add a top 5 player doesn't mean you're going to win a title. You just have to have a top 5 player on your team to win a title.
Yes. Well, but if you have a top 5 player, you're one of 5 teams that can do it. I like those odds.
It's one of those things.
It's better than not having them.
One, but do you have to have them to get there, or did you get there because you had one? I don't know. Can you trade anymore to add that kind of pepper like when Durant showed up a couple years ago? Is it still possible to add a top 5 player to a team that's already kind of in place and go win one? It's happened.
It worked for Toronto.
I was going to say it's happened 2 times in the last decade that I can remember where they literally went out and got a dude, he pushed it over the top.
Yeah, let's go. All right, let's hit a break. We'll continue this discussion on the other side. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a closure due to a rollover accident. Wurzbach Parkway, eastbound, westbound, Jones-Malzberger, on over to 281 San Pedro is closed. Cement truck rollover accident, so they are in the process of getting that cleared and cleaned up. Still sluggish along 90, eastbound 211 to 410, where we had an earlier accident that did clear, so this is a slow residual delay along with the combination of rush hour. And a stall at 35, frontage road southbound Rittiman, taking up the right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Hey guys, are you or your spouse looking to lose weight in time for summer? Head over to any Synergenics or Low T Center for prescription weight loss treatment options. If you qualify for treatment, you can get a free B12 shot when you start. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, a recap of our exciting weekend in Arlington at Globe Life Field.
Plus, we'll have all the latest in the NBA, and a very special guest will be joining us in studio. Think Disney.
Mickey Mouse?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, where's Vic? Is he still oh, that's a long one. That's a
Seeing a Man About a Horse.
That's a 2-segment dump. That's crazy.
Have we gone to
He came running into my studio and said, "I got to take over."
See, it's guys like
he had it. I saw it in his face.
You know, guys like us, Rob. If we're gonna do that, we have to do it in a break, in a stop set. We don't get
to tag out. Well, we've had occasions.
I mean, never a multiple segment. Can you imagine?
I can, sadly.
Oh,
I mean,
no, I can't.
I haven't had to deal with that in a minute, but.
Claymore says Tibbs has gone as far as he can. Time for another voice with a proven philosophy and winning formula.
Well, he has a proven philosophy and a winning formula. He just doesn't have a championship winning formula. I don't know. I agree with Claymore. I do think that there comes a time when you can look at a team and go, I think this coach might have taken him as far as
we have established a championship program.
But on
it's
the
just
other
not the
side
world
of that,
championship yet.
he has, this is working. And the thing about Tibbs is it's working in New York, and it kind of fits them. It kind of fits the fandom. I think that they like the way he coached. They're going to be mad at him, but I wouldn't change a thing right now. And maybe next year you might start thinking they're not listening to him, but your stud said and got mad at a reporter for asking. That told me all I needed to hear.
But again, and that's the thing. Yeah, like is the fact that Jalen Brunson is your stud. Like, what is?
Well, I mean, they went and got Carl Anthony. They've done a wonderful job with Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. I mean, they have a roster. They have more than just him. There's dudes on this team, but you know that Villanova connection, the Jason Hart times might be past. I mean, there's some things that you might want to rotate around, but and looking for some offense, a desperate need for a guy who can go get a shot on his own, and I think that will be their search, and probably need to get themselves a better big man offensively. But other than that, I don't think you do much. I'm not mad at Tibbs for how this ended. I think he did all he could with the roster that he had, and it was improved for him. They made deals to help him.
Yeah. Listen, it's super hard to get over the hump, and it's super hard, like I said, unless you've got a dude that is just the man. And the Knicks don't have that. Jalen Brunson's a good player.
And he was the man earlier. I mean, in earlier series. But when it comes down to it, you're going to need something else.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Anthony Edwards was the man in earlier series. Tyrese Halliburton was the man in earlier.
Well, I still think Halliburton was the man in this one.
Do you really?
Well, he had an off night, but they're not here but for him.
I guess. But even remember when he was like, I'll be better in Game 6, and then he wasn't really better in Game 6.
He's inconsistent, but he's also had 40-point nights. He's had triple-doubles. Let's be realistic here. I mean, they're not here but for him. Pascal was the constant heartbeat. He was the one that got the buckets and played very good in every game. But on the nights where Halliburton was better, he was incredible.
Yeah, I just think we get caught up in the moment with some of the I think Halliburton had a good, not a great series. Even in that last game, he his whole thing is he doesn't turn the ball over. He was a turnover machine in that last game. in Game 5 where he was just a ghost, where he had 8 points. We forget that Game 2 he was like 2 of 10 from 3, and like he had some duds in this series,
and that's why he didn't get it. But I think he rightfully thought he was going to get it. I mean, when he needed to be there to separate, he was there. I mean, at least in one. I mean, he won the game.
Yeah, he did win that game in Game 1. But also go back to that game. I mean, what did he do before the last 5 minutes of that game?
I'm not trying to. He was the best player on the Pacers team. That was deep, and I think that was a system win more than a star win. I mean, they just kept coming at you, and he's going to have to continue to be the best player on this team. If they have any prayer at all winning 2 games, it's not going to be Siakam that wins it. It's going to be Halliburton and Nembhard and those guys that win it. Siakam's the guy that keeps you in it, but he's not the guy that wins it.
Siakam had 3 30-point games in this series. He had 39 in one of the games. Halliburton had 2 30-point games. His next highest scoring output was 21. He had a 14 and 8. He was just inconsistent.
Yeah, that's going to be the rub on him until he proves otherwise. But he has to perform for them to win it. Without him, they don't have a prayer. Siakam can go get 30 a night every night, and that doesn't mean they win anything. If Halliburton comes out and gets 30 a night, the expectation is they're within 5 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. If Siakam come out and get 30, and they could still lose by 25. But if Halliburton has his 30 and is involved, they're going to be within 5. It'll still be down 5, but I still think they'll be in it.
Yeah, I saw a stat that in these playoffs, the Pacers, when they score 111 points, are undefeated. And when they don't score 111 points, they have yet to win a game.
Most teams, I think, could jump on that stat. I mean, yeah, if you score more points than you normally do. Yeah, they're a front-running, steal the ball, roll on your team. And if they can't steal the ball, they're not going to beat you.
That's going to make it very difficult to win this series.
Oh, that's why gentleman's sweep is the 5-game is the money number.
Yeah. I'm not, again, I'm maybe a nitpicky here because I say the same thing about Jalen Brunson. I think Tyrese Halliburton's a good player. Tyrese Halliburton isn't a NBA title type of player. Like, he's a Tyrese Halliburton.
Be careful. A lot of guys aren't until they are. And it seems like this is kind of, the table seems kind of set for
You think Tyrese Halliburton's closer than Anthony Edwards to being like
I'm a year past Anthony Edwards. Maybe next year we'll see it again, but I feel a lot like I did last year about Edwards with Halliburton. I see a guy who's starting to find his depth. Now, there's a lot of inconsistencies, and he certainly doesn't have the physical abilities, but there's sometimes guys just figure it out, and it seems like it's inconsistent now, but I know he's fully capable of doing that on a regular basis if his upstairs are okay, if between the ears are working. He's got every skill. He's got everything you need to be a great, great point guard.
I agree. What he doesn't have is a superstar on his team to
and that
to
might
run
be
with.
the separator. But right now I'm riding a hot horse, and I think Halliburton, and that is worth 2 games at most. I mean, that's just where we are right now. But I'm not going to take away from what Halliburton has done. And Siakam earned it, but they know, and I think everybody in that locker room knows, we can't win it if Siakam is our best player. We can win it if Halliburton is.
They might think that. I'm telling you right now, I don't care if Tyrese Halliburton's your best player, Pascal Siakam. You go up and down that Pacers lineup, not one of those guys is good enough to win a title as the man. Like, I'm the number 1 guy on an NBA championship team. It's just, they're not.
No.
That's why they are, that's why the Thunder are minus 700 favorites to win this thing.
Yes.
Because they have the man, and the Pacers simply do not.
But they got to go in with the attitude that they do. We got to find the man.
Well, that's nice. I mean,
that's what you've got to do. And my best player, when he's at his best, is Tyrese Halliburton. And he has to be at his best for us to win this thing. There's no way we win a single game with Halliburton scoring 14.
Vic's Tia Maria can go put on a small tank top and say that she's Salma Hayek, but Maria ain't Salma Hayek.
But but Maria on nights could never be, and there are nights that Halliburton could. I mean, there are nights when we've seen him go triple-double, 35, hit a 3 to win a game. So He's capable of it. And we know that they can do it, but we also know that if Siakam gets 35 a night, they ain't winning. And the wrong dude's leading them in scoring. If he gets 25 and we get two other dudes in the high mid-20s,
I'll tell you what,
got a fighting chance.
I think if anybody gets 35 a night against the Thunder, you say, keep doing what you're doing.
And I think that, nobody's going to get 35 a night.
No.
But you are way too high on this team.
No,
This is a
I'm
team
not,
that has
dude.
laid eggs before. And this is an Indiana team that has been here and done this. Now, 6 games will be an accomplishment, but I do think it's going to be a lot closer than a bunch of big blowouts. I think 5 or 6 a night is a thing.
This team won 68 games in the Western Conference.
They did.
And I'm too high on them?
I'm just saying, don't go too far. This is a team of professionals with a week off. And let me tell you, if Pacers jump out and get that first one, which I don't think they will, it's going to be a little bit tighter than people think because they have been here.
When have they been here?
Last year. I mean, this is a team that has
They weren't in the fight. Never been in the finals.
They made it to the Eastern Conference.
And they got
Finals.
swept.
Yes, but they have been here before. This isn't a first time.
They ran into a good team and
Neither
got
has
swept.
Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City hadn't been here before.
They've not. But they won 68 games this season.
Well, that's all out. So did Cleveland.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with AutoPay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale, which means if you're shopping for summer, you can get insider deals on our best brands, even ones that aren't usually on sale, like an extra 30% off Hugo Boss, Calvin Klein, Levi's, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance. And with Father's Day just around the corner on June 15th, it's a great time to shop for Dad. Stop by Macy's and walk out with the perfect gift. Don't miss Friends and Family, starting tomorrow, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Carbach Brewing kicking off the summer with their Music to Your Beer campaign to keep you listeners in San Antonio in a Love Street state of mind. Love Street's got 2 great giveaways going on. Carbach's giving away a custom pair of Love Street Air Force Ones designed by a local artist. Get you stepping into the summer in style. On top of that, you can head down to your favorite watering hole and look for the Love Street Beer Rep. They might be able to hook you up with 2 credits to your Touch Tunes account so you can get the whole bar celebrating summer. You want details on that? Check it out at carbachbrewing.com. And if Love Street's not your thing, that's all right. There's something for everybody in the Carbach lineup. Hopadillo, fantastic IPA. That's their flagship IPA. You can even find the Double Dillo right now. That's Hopadillo Imperial for a limited time, but you can find that out and about in the wild as well. Ziegenbach celebrating the great taste of Texas summer. Chance for listeners to win a grill for their backyard. You can find that online at Carbach Brewing as well. Check them out, guys. carbachbrewing.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We're still dealing with this closure on the north side on Wurzbach Parkway. Eastbound, westbound, still closed between Jones-Malzberger over to 281. It's a cement truck rollover accident, so the cleanup process continues. On that westbound side, your alternate is 410. And on the eastbound side, looks like they are diverting traffic onto the frontage road there at 281. On 35 Frontage Road, southbound Rittiman, that stall is still there. It's taking up a right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
God bless and birds up. UTSA takes down number 2 Texas and wins the Austin Regional Championship. UTSA moves on to play UCLA in the Super Regional. The NBA Finals are set as the Pacers finished off the Knicks in Game 6 Saturday, 125-108. NBA Finals begin Thursday, a game you can catch right here. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8:02 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob getting you through on a Monday.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. I believe I'd kick somebody's ass if they told me that. Josh says, I'm not saying the love that OKC is getting and has been getting on this station is unwarranted, but it's the NBA Finals now. Records are out. Y'all are talking OKC is the best team ever assembled. First of all, I think that OKC is better than Rob does. So it's not y'all. I believe that this Oklahoma City team is being criminally underrated. I'm going to read you a quick list of the teams that had a better regular season than the Oklahoma City Thunder in the history of time. The 1972 LA Lakers that had Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West won 69 games. The 1997 Chicago Bulls won 69 games, one more than this Thunder team. The 1996 Chicago Bulls won 72 games, Obviously, those Bulls, pretty strong teams, Jordan, Pippen era Bulls. And the 2016 Warriors won 73 games. Those 4 teams are the only teams in the history of time that won more games in the regular season than this year's Thunder team did in the West. I just don't understand why we're not looking at this team. And I don't know if this is an all-time great. They've got to win a title to be an all-time great, one-season team. But, I mean, you mentioned the 2000 Lakers. They won fewer games than this Thunder team did. And the other important thing to remember is this Thunder team did it with one of their key pieces being out for almost the entirety of the season.
Well, yeah, but the records back then meant a little bit more than they do now.
Why?
Because we've got the tank is full in, and half the teams now aren't even in competition for the playoffs. We knew at the beginning of this season that there were 10 teams that were in it to lose it, that were in it to lose as many games as possible, especially this year because we had another generational dude like Flagg. And we had a couple of teams that just went into it. So I think it was easier to kind of buffer your regular season. I think you could either go all the way in or all the way out. Those high wins didn't matter as much anymore. We saw lots of teams with great records during the regular season just fold up because they were feasting on bad teams. Doesn't mean they're not the best team coming out. They are. But they still haven't done it yet. That's why they're not being undervalued until they do it. Now, they come back next year after doing this, then they will be getting their proper respect, I guess is the word you're looking for being who they are. Right now, NBA guys, Vegas guys, yeah, they're probably being favored appropriately considering they have not done it yet. Until you've done it, you're never going to get the full credit for it. And there is some regular season where it makes it a little bit easier. They're the best team in the league this year, tied with what we thought it was Cleveland.
Well, they finished 4 games ahead of Cleveland, too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, of the 4, think of the top records in the league where they ended up.
Those 2 in Boston.
And none of those teams had a good playoff run. So,
but I think the other thing is when the Thunder, by winning 68 games, finished 16 games ahead of the second-place team in the West, and we all think the West is a much better conference than the East.
Well, we did. I'm not sure
you still
we
don't?
Still do. I think in hindsight, Minnesota seemed flawed. The best team other than Oklahoma City seemed to be the Nuggets, and they were done in the second round. You know what I mean?
Because they played the Thunder.
Right.
But the fact that they won by 16 games over the next best team.
Ridiculously good. And they're not going to get credit
and
until they win it.
You talked about how they had more double-digit wins than anybody in history. Like they
at home.
When they win, they blow you out. They were the best defense in the league. They were not far. The Cavs scored 121.9 points per game, which was like a historically great offense. The Thunder were a point behind them per game.
They have done all the stuff, and they're just not going to get the credit you want to give them until they hold the trophy.
Until they do it. Yeah.
And I think that, and rightfully so, because this is a team that we've seen lay an egg in a game. In a game. They've always bounced back. They've always come back even stronger at the next one because they know full well they're capable of it. But they have shown they can take their foot off the gas. I think we've seen Jay Will grow into a star even more so than last year. I think he was bigger games this year than we thought he was going to be. So they're even better now than they were. But I'm not going to take away from the Pacers. These are NBA dudes, and they have seen it and done it too. And they're just as willing and capable. Now they're -1 dude. I think it's going to go down in the annals as a one-sided series, but it'll be in a lot smaller numbers than I think we're going to be expecting. I don't see a lot of swings either. Neither one of these teams is going to give up a 20-point lead. Neither one of these teams will. It's just not in. I mean, if it does happen, it'll be the Pacers. But I just don't see either one of these teams collapsing like some of the teams they've played against. So that 5-7-point swings, then I start thinking, okay, 5-7-point swing, shooter's chance, there's 2 wins in there.
And obviously, the team that I mentioned, the Golden State Warriors, that in 2016 that went 73-9, famously did not win the NBA title. choked away a huge lead in the NBA Finals. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could happen.
But I think we're going to crown them when they're done. Because we all look at them. I see a Golden State. I see a young Spur team. I see no reason why Oklahoma City isn't going to be competitive for a decade. So it's going to begin. I'm just not ready to put it on their head until they earn it.
Yeah, I like to look ahead. That way I can look back and be like, I saw it. I saw it. And then also that leads to me being completely wrong sometimes and having egg on my face. But I feel a lot more confident saying we can crown the Thunder than the Pacers have a real chance here, because I don't believe
they don't have a real chance. They have a puncher's chance in a couple of games is the way you look at it. And if they land a couple punches, then you start wondering. But I give some weight to their coach. I think Carlisle is a separator. But other than that, it's everything on the page. When you're going strengths and weaknesses, go to OKC. Best player, most depth, best scoring, best defense. That all goes to OKC. All of it. Only thing I put on the other side is Carlisle and a unique offense that Oklahoma City hasn't seen. That's all they can bring to the table. They can bring a unique offense where they split the court in half and have 2-point guards running, maybe even 3 running around, and try to do something that Oklahoma City hasn't seen because they haven't had to deal with this kind of manpower. And that's all you can hang your hat on. You got to hope that's enough. And one guy, whether it be Siakam or Halliburton, and then a third, because you're going to need a third, one of those two plus one shows up every night. And then, best case, you win 2 games because they are overmatched.
And it's funny. I generally think that I have a lot of respect for Rick Carlisle. I think he's a great coach. But Mark Dagnall was coach of the year last year.
Brilliant.
I mean, the guy's clearly, he's got it figured out. I just don't. I can't picture a world. I just think that I do believe this Thunder team is special. I do believe we're seeing the start of a dynasty. I know people around here don't like hearing that.
Well, you have to have a competitor. You have to have the other side for it to grow.
You need a bad guy. You need a villain.
Iron sharpens iron. So I think as much as the Spurs are getting better, Oklahoma City needs the Spurs to get better for them to become what they think they're going to be.
And I also don't think when you look at the greatest teams of all time, like I said, there's a team. One of the teams that finished ahead of them had Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, and Jerry West on the team, which is just absurd to think that all those guys are on the same team. Obviously, we know what those Bulls teams were built like. We know the Steph, Clay, Draymond team. I'm not saying that this team, from a talent perspective, is because they're not. There's not the superstars on this team that there were on some of those other teams, but we've talked about the Alex Carusos and the Lou Dorts, the guys that...
I'll say this. No team has ever been able to bring out 4 guys that can play defense on ball and guard 3, even 4 positions like OKC can. No one has ever been able to bring out 4 guys, 3 linebackers. They bring out 3 linebackers to guard guards, forwards, and bigs, and they just keep pounding you. No team has ever been able to do this.
The closest is those 04 Pistons we're talking about. And what's funny, and when the
but
Spurs...
these guys are bigger.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I mean, look at Lou Dort. And Caruso, you think, looks average till you see him in person. I mean, he's a 6'4.5" muscular dude, and Lou Dort looks like a fullback or a linebacker. And we haven't talked about Jason Williams. We haven't begun that. And then there's Chet Holmgren at 7'5", and then the ball skills that Shea Gilgeous plays defensive. He plays defense like Larry Bird used to. You don't think he's playing defense, and suddenly he's dribbling the ball the other direction. He got the ball. I don't know how he got it, but he got it. So you roll out 4 dudes that just beat you like no one has ever had this. Now, there's been more talented teams out there. There's been, like you just mentioned, 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
But no one's been able to play man-to-man defense like this ever.
J-Rod says, settle down, dynasty, ? Listen, barring an injury to Shea, which could always happen, barring an injury to Shea, this team is going to win the title this year, and they will win another title in the next 2.
I would say that's a safe... I would bet that 2 out of the next 3.
Dynasty is an overstatement.
I'm not sure that works.
Because from a financial standpoint, how they keep it together, we'll see. But this, I do believe this is a multiple championship team. This is not a one-off flash. This isn't the Toronto Raptors winning the title. This isn't the Milwaukee Bucks winning the title. this is the start of a team. This is the start of a team that's going to win multiple rings. I firmly believe that because there's nothing about this that doesn't seem repeatable to me.
Well, those of us who've seen it before, I mean, you got low-paid talent that's happy to be there, that's
and young
family, and youth. So everybody's going to be around another couple of years, and they're there because they like this. Now
they like playing with each other,
and there will be an exodus. Every team loses one or two, but keep in mind the draft picks they still have, and the brain trust that's still running this organization. They're not going anywhere.
No, this is the way that. This is what everybody's going to look at now. Teams are going to look at this Thunder team the same way they looked at the Spurs in the aughts.
Yes,
they're going to say how'd they do it. And I know if you're a Spurs fan, you don't like hearing that someone else has recreated what you did, but they've done it.
Well, the Spurs, to be great, had to have the Lakers. We had to have
yes.
them. We had to wake up every morning knowing if we don't get better today, the Lakers are.
Yep.
So we have to have them be great. I firmly believe that.
Rin says, can we let them win one first before you start crowning them as multi-championship team? We can. Wouldn't it be really boring if all we did was tell you what's happened already? Like that our whole job is to have opinions and to like prognosticate. It'd be really lame if all we did was talk about what happened yesterday and never make a prediction about what happens in the future.
I wonder how much of this is just the fear of of knowing full well that with every passing day, the Spurs, while they're trying to improve, know exactly what the measuring stick is, and it's right up the road. We know exactly where we need to go. Yeah. I think that's a great thing. Don't look at this as a bad thing.
The problem
Spurs
is
fan.
It's terrifying because, I mean, the Spurs weren't even a play-in team, and like you realize how far the road is to get there.
We also know that they weren't much. I mean, it took them 4 or 5 years, but appropriate moves, and we've seen the Spurs do the same. No, this is going to be a decade-long kind of thing, and I see no reason to be upset with it. I want this. Because the Spurs had the Mavericks, they had the Oklahoma Cities, they had their competitors, but it was the Lakers. For the first 5 years of this run, the Spurs woke up every day wondering, what did LA do and what are we going to do to stay ahead of them? And it was from individual standpoint, was Tim going to be ready for Shaq? Was it going to be, and it was team. Are we put together to beat this Laker team? And it makes you function like a championship team that's being chased every day. You need this to get great.
J-Rod says, OKC wins this year, but the league is right on their tail. Tons of talent. That's the thing.
That's a valid.
Is the league right on their tail?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent.
Think about who's the team that pushed them the closest this year.
Well, I mean,
the
on
Nuggets.
their tail in the grandest scheme, yes, there's lots of teams close to Oklahoma City. There's not like the Bulls and everybody just praying. I think that there's teams that are still close.
They won the West by 16 games.
Yes, they did. And in a time of transition, but there are teams coming. There are. I mean, they're not alone on the top of the mountain.
And the team that gave them the hardest time in these playoffs, the Denver Nuggets, are a team with a down arrow.
Well,
we don't. The Thunder might still have an up arrow. Like they might not even be neutral right now.
They're never going to be more talented than they are now. Never. They're never going to be more talented. They'll be higher pay, but they're never going to be more talented.
Well, but you agree though. Most of their best players are in their second and third years.
That's what I'm talking about.
They can get better organically.
Yes, they're never going to add. No, they're going to be better organically, but they're never going to be more talented. It's just not going to happen. The talent drain begins the moment you win a ring.
Agreed, but again, the fact that Chet played like 20 games this year, like there's still room for this team to be better than they were.
With the guys here, yes, but they're going to lose some too. They're gonna improve, and that's the attrition of title teams. It just happens. You can't pay everybody, and guys want your guys. So they'll never be more talented, but they're never going to be younger either. You know, they're gonna get a little older and a little better too. So there's more to come, but this is the apex of the type of talent you're going to have. You're never going to have a team that is capable of defensively doing what they're able to do. Now they're going to add, as Chet gets better, that backline defense will get better and the rim will get protected a little bit more and longer. But right now, those four in the front never been done before. Never.
They're pending free agents this year. Brandon Carlson, okay. Alex Dukas, okay. Adam Flagler, okay. A.J. Mitchell, Jalen Williams, the Jalen with a Y, and he's got bird rights if they want to keep him.
Yeah.
They're not losing anybody important this year.
No, not for a couple years. And even if they were up, who says they want to leave? I think there's guys that are willing to take a little bit of money.
Too.
But they're never going to be more talented. They'll be better, they'll be older, they'll be wiser, and they won't need as much talent. But they're not going to be as deep. They're never going to have a team goes 10 deep like this ever again.
Well, you also got to remember the guy that they drafted last year
didn't even play.
Right.
Didn't even play.
He's been hurt. I mean, they might get better.
Well,
what if that guy's a player?
If he was good enough, he'd be playing.
He's been injured.
What I'm saying, if he's good enough, he'll be playing. We'll see. You come to a point, and I saw this with the Spurs, where you can add talent, but just because you add better guys doesn't mean the team gets better.
No, I agree.
You know
with
what
that.
I mean? So just because they're saying, "Oh, they're our best guy," that doesn't mean he'll ever play. Just because this team's pretty good. I don't want to shake the apple cart.
But if Topic doesn't play, then he becomes another asset for them to keep adding. And that's the other thing. I trust, and it's the same reason the Spurs got good. I trust the organization to do the right things with the assets that they have. Generally, especially during that dynasty, whoever the Spurs picked, I just assumed it's going to work. Whatever move the Spurs did when they re-signed guys, I just assumed, yeah, that's going to work because you have organizations can earn your trust. And I would say that the Spurs in the last 5-10 years certainly have not been as reliable as they were during that run, but I still generally trust what the Spurs do.
It helps when you have three superstars, no matter what you do, when you have those three. So, and they're going to have their three, and they're going to keep their parts. It's going to be fun. They have yet to suffer something tough. They don't have a guy that's upset yet. You know, they haven't had, and I was going to say injury, but I mean, Chet's been injured since he walked in the door, quite frankly. We still haven't seen a full year out of him.
Nope.
So that might be an ongoing concern.
Sounds familiar.
And I mean, with an extra year, I mean, he missed a full year, and then the other two, he's been hurt.
But the terrifying thing of it is, with the Thunder, we've seen when Chet's out, they can manage. You take Wemby out of the Spurs picture for a season, the season is.
Oh, this year we know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe now with Fox they can still compete.
Castle, this is a little bit different.
The ceiling is the whole ceiling of the San Antonio Spurs depends on Victor Wembanyama becoming a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander type player.
Mm-hmm.
That not type player, level of player, not a Chet Holmgren level of player.
It goes back to the top five. You have to have a top five.
Wemby has to be. I contest still that today Chet Holmgren is a better player than Wemby is. I expect that to last maybe another year, if that.
Not even a year.
It
better not be.
But Wemby needs to pass Chet. He needs to pass Jalen Williams. And then he needs to get to where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is if the Spurs are ever going to be what we're seeing in Oklahoma City right now.
I think that's...
All right. I am running behind. I gotta catch us up. I'll give something away on the other side. How about that? How about some how about some Offspring tickets on the other side? You guys like the Offspring? Give it to me, baby. I'll do that next. Of course they're still around. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. Don't get caught off guard. Contact Barton & Associates today and get your freedom back before Father's Day. TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
The water coming in and out of your home is like music. Here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, it is hard. Now that's hard. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener and enjoy this. Smooth, soft, pure, clean water. The difference is astounding. Hard water, soft water. If you don't have a Connecticut water softener in your home, you're basically inviting destructive hard water to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And your coffee maker, hard water damages it too. Call me for a free home water evaluation at 656 Pure.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Connecticut is simply the very best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own. Don't live with. Live with
656 Pure Connecticut.
License number 38961.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, a recap of our exciting weekend in Arlington at Globe Life Field.
Plus, we'll have all the latest in the NBA, and a very special guest will be joining us in studio. Think Disney.
Mickey Mouse?
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
You know what this song's called, Rob?
No.
Come Out and Play. Like the latest fashion, like a spreading disease. Kids are strapping on their way to the classrooms, getting weapons with the greatest of ease. Gang psych got their own campus locale, and if they catch you slipping, then it's all over, pal. If one guy's colors and the others don't mix, bash it up, bash it up, bash it up, bash it up. Hey, man, you're talking back to me. Take him out. You gotta keep them separated. Hey, man, you disrespecting me? No way, right, Vic?
Nah.
Don't pay no mind. You're under 18, you won't be doing any time. Hey, come out and play. Right, kitty? Yeah. Hey, you want to go see The Offspring? Ha-ha! We got you covered, baby. Live Nation's $30 ticket to summer. The Offspring live August 24th at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater in Austin. That's out at the F1 track there in Austin. Let's go with caller number 5. You're going to go see The Offspring live August 24th in Austin, Texas.
Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory.
Oh, Newfound Glory. Newfound Glory does a cover of the Never Ending Story song. So we bring it full circle, Rob. Full circle.
And they managed to stay a band after remaking Neverending Story.
I'm telling you, it's
kept them alive.
Behind the scenes, the band was in turmoil.
It is better than the original Neverending Story song.
It couldn't be worse.
I know, and
Lamal anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely couldn't have looked as corny doing it.
So this is part of the Live Nation's $30 ticket to summer deal. Huh?
Yes, some good deals to be had. Good deals, yeah.
Is it all the shows?
No, not all of them. But like the Bob Dylan Willie Nelson show doesn't have $30 tickets, unfortunately. No. But I did see I need to do some investigating into who exactly is posing as Pantera these days.
Because they're coming on the second.
Yeah, I need to see who is in the band before I go pay money to see Pantera. You know,
heaviest tour of the summer.
There's a lot of dead people in Pantera, and I need to know. I need to know.
Is that where Dave Mustaine was? Was he with them?
Dimebag Darrell.
Oh, he's dead.
Yes, he is dead.
I know that he's no
dead.
longer around.
MAGA Big Balls says, what? No UTSA baseball conversation? They just made history.
Got here late,
All
dude.
caps.
Dude, you got here late.
Yeah.
Bro, we've been talking about it.
Sorry, missed it. You got to check it out later.
What did they do again?
They're headed to the Super Regionals.
You mean the University of Texas San Antonio? That school?
No, you mean UT San Antonio.
Oh, that one.
We don't say it that way either.
I'm trying to find the right way. So UT San Antonio's in the Super Regional.
But I did say this. You remember this. I think you guys both will remember this. Hopefully the audience does. Right. Remember when Texas State beat A&M in a baseball game? And everybody's like, what? You're not talking about Texas State?
Oh, yeah.
They beat the number one team in the country. And I said, come back to me when they're in the tournament, and I'll talk about them. Did we talk about Texas State in the tournament?
Did we?
No.
They didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
They didn't make it.
No. And that number one team that they beat once upon a time, the Texas A&M Fighting Aggies, did we talk about them? No, because they didn't make it. Baseball's a long season, friends.
Did we talk about Texas?
Well, we did. We talked about them getting their ass kicked by the Road Runners. Meet. It
was a weird doubleheader because they played and then they took like 5 hours off. And they played again.
Yep. Let's get it done, baby.
Well, I wish they'd have just turned it up. I'd have seen the game.
I'm happy for UTSA. I hope now I've got to cross fingers that they're the real deal because I do think that Texas had a real chance to win if they would have gotten there. And I always want someone from Texas to represent well. And now it's all on the shoulders of the mighty Roadrunners. Do Roadrunners even have shoulders now that I think about that? Maybe not.
Well, that has to hold the wing.
Yeah. Right. But have you ever eaten a chicken shoulder?
I ate a wing.
Right.
What?
So, but they don't really have shoulders.
Well,
pork has shoulders.
Well, I get the sense if some of those churches' cuts have shoulders. I'm not sure what cut of chicken I'm eating when I'm at churches.
Let's say it's all on the backs of the Roadrunners.
Well,
there you go.
Meep. I hope they get it done. Not just for the great city of San Antonio, but for the great state of Texas, for the greater good.
Is that all we got?
That's all we got.
That's it.
That's all we got. Yeah, I think all the Texas teams
lost.
Yep, all the Texas teams were in that same regional, and it's over, Johnny. It's over for everybody else. Thus, meep. And you know what? Screw UCLA. They're probably not even good at baseball. They're a bunch of California posers, bunch of soft candy asses is my guess. Yeah. We got real men here in San Antonio. They're going to go down and whoop that ass.
Too many Teslas in the parking lot.
Yeah, a bunch of Tesla driving. Not even Teslas. They're probably there on electric scooters. Yeah. Bunch of candy asses. Screw those guys. Gilbert says his UT friends were upset that UTSA was put in the wrong bracket before the game started. Whatever, man. Beat who's in front of you. If you're going to win the championship, you got to beat everybody. If you can't beat everybody, you shouldn't be the champion anyway. Suck it.
Who cares what bracket it is? Just
Bevo, you had your chance. You blew it.
Where's Minden, Nevada?
Minden? Mm-hmm. I have no idea. That's a made-up place.
Well, there's a junior pitcher on UTSA from Nevada.
Minden, Nevada. I've got honestly no idea where that is.
This is a Texas team, no doubt. Although we have an Italian catcher.
Minden. Oh my gosh.
Lorenzi Moresti.
Minden, Nevada is a town of around 3,000 people. It is.
Oh wow.
You know where? You know how Nevada is like has that turn in it. Like it's and then there's a sharp turn.
Okay.
It's right at that elbow.
I thought no one lived out there.
No one does.
Well, evidently, they play a little bit of baseball.
Yep. It's looks like it's about. They call it the Tahoe area. It looks like it's about 2 hours from Tahoe. Yeah, that's
the closest.
That's the closest place. Yep. All right. But yeah, we did talk some UTSA. We want to. We're backing them, baby. We are backing UTSA all day. Frank says, haha, everyone beats Texas A&M. Anyone can beat your little brother. Listen, we cheer for everybody. There's no need to kick Rob while he's down.
I'm not down. Bring it.
Are the lady softballers still going?
No, I'm not. I mean,
Oh,
the season's
they're
over.
out too. Yeah.
Are the Texas softballers still going?
I don't
Yes,
know.
they are.
Are they?
They beat OU, which we're all happy about that.
Everybody's happy about that. Suck it, OU. We don't cheer for Oklahoma in these parts.
Nope.
Texas's hat. Beat it. All right. Did we give away did I give away those tickets? I gave a caller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay. Thank you.
You're good.
I like to stay on top of things. You guys know how I am.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to make sure I do things
Let me delete it.
the right way here. I like to do things the right way.
There, we have one more thing to give away, and that's it.
Okay. And I'm going to do that in the 9 o'clock hour. I'm going to give away a Mellow Mushroom Monday, a gift card, a $50 gift card to the Mellow Mush. I'm going to do that as well. On the other side, I want to have a conversation, an adult conversation. If you have children in the car, I want you to turn your radio down in the next segment because this is big boy stuff, particularly here in Texas. What we're going to talk about is frowned upon. But it's something that really needs to be discussed. We'll do that next. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are still dealing with this closure on the north side on Wurzbach Parkway. Early this morning, a closure with a cement truck rollover accident. So there's a lot of debris on the roadway. They're in the process of getting that all cleaned up. So still closed, Wurzbach, eastbound, westbound, Jones-Malzberger on over to 281. On 35 Frontage Road, southbound Rittiman, disabled vehicle has the right lane blocked. On 281 northbound, that connector to 1604, disabled vehicle is blocking the right lane of the connector. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off. Free UPS shipping and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. This Tuesday, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in DC.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/radio. That's HIMS.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power. Oh, my prayer was answered during the break. I was in a real conundrum. As you guys can see,
Yeah.
I drink a lot of water. And as the show goes on, I always have to have some water. I have to stay hydrated so my vocal cords will perform. That's right. Not all of us have a natural voice.
Jokes there, but we'll keep going.
Like Rob has his radio voice is natural and it never gets tired. He feeds it, bagels and Dr. Pepper and chewing tobacco, and it just runs like a Corvette. Meanwhile, it's a fight to sound this good. It is a fight, and I got to sing too. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, you don't got to sing.
I have to because you never do.
Exactly.
So with that hydration comes the need to release that water somehow. And if you recall, I was not wearing shoes or socks. I was doing the show barefoot. I did the first 2 hours and 40 minutes of the show with no shoes.
And I don't think that's up to OSHA. I don't think you're allowed to do that. I think legally you need to be
you should be
shod.
You should be, but your zipper should be zipped up, and you refuse to do that.
Well, no.
He's more comfortable.
But it is, yeah. He's just got his crank. He's a crank hanger, not a crank yanker, a crank hanger. But I had to pee really bad, and I'll do a lot of things. I will not go into a public restroom barefoot. Like I can't even think of.
No.
I'd pee in my hat and just throw the hat away before I went into a public restroom barefoot to pee. There's just not a world where I would do that. And thankfully, right around the time that I really needed to go, my sock was dry.
I'd have gone outside.
I guess I could have done
The
that.
great thing about nature, it's just a big toilet.
But I would have been on video. Like all the places that I could have reached barefoot are in video range.
I don't think anybody's
You should
watching
have
that
did it.
video.
We told Shelton, hey, can you pull the video?
Pull the video. I don't know what's going on there. We got a dead spot in the lawn.
I've already gotten a warning. I can't have any more behavioral.
You've already been warned about peeing in the yard?
No, but I've already had one behavioral strike. I can't afford another. I can't afford another.
That's a different.
I just bought a house, Rob. You're trying to get me canned.
Foul. That wasn't a flagrant. That would have been a dead ball. It wouldn't have been a flagrant.
Maybe a flagrant too.
But public indecency?
That wouldn't have been indecent.
No, there's nobody there.
You'd have been.
Maybe the coyote.
Indecency would have been with intent.
Who knows? Jimmy walks out and sees it. Jimmy gets all excited.
Well,
or the news rats.
Yeah.
Well, the news rats, they'll take a picture.
You never know. You never know.
They always have a camera.
So, which bathroom did you choose? The executive.
Yeah, the one staller. But I put my shoes on first. I didn't go in barefoot. I put my shoes on.
You're good then.
And I'm all good now. I'm wearing shoes for the rest of the show.
Thank God.
The rest of the show will be done with.
Like normal.
It'll be fully shoed. Fully shoed. All right. I told you guys. Here's Chris. You really shouldn't sing. All right, Chris. Hate on, hater. Hate on, hater.
King of the Hill reboot.
Because the hater's going to hate.
That's right.
Okay. I told you guys that this wasn't a kid-friendly segment, and it's not.
Okay.
It's time for us to discuss an adult conversation here, an adult topic.
Okay.
What do you guys feel? What are your thoughts on AI? Are you pro AI or against AI?
As with any tool, it has its place.
Okay. Vic?
I use it every day.
Oh, every day?
Yeah.
You chat GBT or what?
Yeah.
Okay. You know who doesn't like AI?
Who?
The porn industry.
What?
The AI revolution is coming for porno. There are a number of new genres emerging which make the use of generative AI, such as hyperporn, which is a genre of
Hyperporn? What?
a genre of erotic imagery that stretches the limits of sexuality and human anatomy. Like, imagine if I said, "Oh, 2 breasts, that's cool. I want 3 breasts."
Oh, yeah.
4
I've
breasts
seen that.
even. Like, you can have that, and you can have a porn-like experience with whatever your heart desires.
Really?
Yes.
What site is this?
Ask ChatGPT.
Okay, I'll ask.
Yes. There's also various iterations of like what they call gone wild porn.
Okay.
Which is it sees users attempting to trick safe for work image generation models into depicting erotic scenes. And like let's say you're into Daphne from Scooby-Doo, who was my first cartoon crush. I was really into Daphne. But you could like take a Scooby-Doo episode and say, hey, AI, make this Scooby-Doo episode where Daphne is topless. And it can do it.
Okay.
It can do it. Wow. Now, what this is terrifying. This is terrifying the real life people of porno, actual porno stars who this is what their living is. Yeah. And remember, listen, you're a porn star. You've got a very short shelf life anyway. Particularly if you're a gal, like those.
Oh yeah, you can only go so far.
Yeah, we can only.
You're only hot so long.
Yeah, you've got to run. It's like an athlete for men. Yeah. For a male athlete,
Well, there's a lot of genres. There's a lot of keywords.
Yeah, you just graduate
there's something for everybody.
Rob, you remember when Jenna Jameson was the hottest porn star on earth?
I do.
Now I want you to Google Jenna Jameson today.
Yeah,
and you tell me
she didn't hang on like Tom Brady did.
You tell me if there's anyone in the world who could look at that and go, "Oh yeah." No, there's not.
There's probably a Mr. Gemma Jameson.
No,
Jenna
you just
Jameson
graduate to another category.
I think her Mr. Jenna Jameson was Tito Ortiz, who has CTE, and even he was like, enough of this. Jenna Jameson now looks like a one of those chamois that you dry a car with, that got left out in the rain, and then.
Well, she had some kind of medical issue too, right?
Yeah,
but we're getting sidetracked.
We're sidetracked here, but either way.
Yeah. It hasn't ended well.
That's awful.
That was the hottest woman in porn for about an 8-year run, and maybe she might be the biggest porn star in the history of time. Like, her run may have been like.
And this was her before.
Yeah. I mean, it did it.
She's like Pam Anderson without makeup.
It went downhill in a hurry.
Jeez, a huge hurry.
But there.
It's really kind of sad, man.
This
is brutal.
It is.
Wow.
And here's the thing about AI.
Ooh.
They never get old. Wow. If she looks too old for you, you can make her young. Now the scary thing about AI is there's going to be perverts out there who will use it to
deep fake.
Not just that, but the legal lines are going to have to be drawn. People are saying, like, if I have AI create a gal who's under 18, is that still child pornography?
Yep. Anything under 18, yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, that's not a real person.
Not real.
That's so I don't know.
It would be like a cartoon or kind of animation drawing of someone young. But
dude,
see, a person drew that.
This doesn't look like stick figures, is what I'm telling you. Like what the internet is, what the AI is capable of is not stick figures. It's pretty realistic. So that's the other thing that people are going to have to figure out: what is legal, what is not legal with AI. Now, there are some people who will say, like, you have to have a real person because there's stuff that the real people do that you can't fake or whatever. I don't know. I'm not like a massive porn guy.
But with AI, it seems like there's so many things that are open, that could happen.
I'm telling you, I have always been more afraid of apes than computers taking over. But I'm starting to shift to maybe the computers are a greater threat.
I've seen movies.
Yeah.
Well, there's movies about both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think the AI one is probably a little bit more believable. I think you're probably on the right track. The talking monkey.
They don't have to
carrying
talk,
guns.
but they've got opposable thumbs. That's deadly.
Yeah, that's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and evolution happens, I mean, it just does. But yeah, so maybe that's why
remember when
the governor here doesn't want us to have pornography.
Well, we can't have weed either.
No.
That's a whole other thing.
So they're making all these decisions.
But I remember when
us,
video,
right?
when porn went to video, they thought it was over. Like, there went the great actresses, the great porn stars of the past. When they went to video instead of film.
Okay.
No, and now it's just a bunch of couples in the backyard. It's ruined porn. Didn't. We carried on.
And even the internet age where porn is free.
And they thought it would kill it. No,
it still seems to have a place.
Some money in it.
But they're talking about how it's funny. There's a lot of porn stars that are using AI themselves because they have these websites where you can pay X amount and you can chat with the porn star.
Oh yeah,
they're using AI bots to chat with these pervos.
Yeah,
but really, the thing is there are no employment law protection for workers in that industry. They're going to be especially vulnerable to the changes in.
What about Nevada? Right.
Well, in Nevada, where you can actually pay money to have sex with people,
this is a whole different.
Even robots can't quite.
Well, we haven't
not yet.
What about those VR gloves and other attachments that are around the corner?
I mean, just a story that I read this week, and I was like, wow, that is fascinating. How the world is changing, and it's affecting even things like pornography being affected greatly. Art says, when do you all talk about sports, please? Art, we've literally talked about sports for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and we took 10 minutes to talk about something else going on in the world.
Yep.
So,
you ever seen the movie Sleeper? I know the guy's been canceled.
Sleep? I don't think I've
Woody
seen
Allen. It's a Woody Allen movie.
Oh, I have. I've seen Sleeper. Yes,
where there's the sex robot. There's one guy left in the world that knows how to do it.
I do remember
and
that.
He gets locked in the sex room.
Yeah. I mean, man, that's where
they
we're
were ahead
headed.
of the game right there. Back in '73, they already saw it coming.
Woody Allen knew. Woody Allen also, by the way, would be worried about the child
What's her name?
laws.
Sun Yi. Yeah.
The child laws.
Underage Asian girls.
Oh, yeah.
Underage Asian porn.
All right. We will get back to sports. Don't you worry your pretty little heads, ladies and gentlemen. We do have more sports to do. But also,
I hope our sports is appropriate to the sports he wants to talk about.
Well, he already said bye, so he's gone.
I told him bye.
He's gone.
Because I thought we'd dive real deep into the 5th place finisher in the F1 and the Spanish Grand Prix. We really want to get into some hardcore sports.
You know what? I did see I saw
Verstappen do some Mario Kart, slam on the brakes.
No, but I did see I saw a commercial that it was like some sort of an ad for F1 where it was like, what would it mean to you to win an F1 race? And these guys, they're talking to race car drivers, and they're like, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what it would feel like. It would be the most emotional day of my life. And I'm like, what?
Think about it. There's guys that have an entire career that never win.
That's crazy.
Never podium. Yeah. Never. And we'll have a long same as a football player never making the Super Bowl.
Right. But I mean, it's like, imagine the Super Bowl happens how many times a year? I mean, how many F1 races are there every year?
24, 25.
So imagine you've got 24 chances to win and you never do. But that's different than.
It's not really, because if you follow F1, there's only 4 teams with a prayer in any race. Really. But you've got 20 teams, 4 teams with money and motors and engineers and tires and everything. Everybody else is just happy to start. They just want to finish. If they podium, if they just get to stand on the podium one time a year, that's a Super Bowl. To Haas Racing, shoot. I mean, to some of these teams, so it is that crazy for some. There's only 4 teams with a chance. There's 8 guys with a chance to stand with 3 spots.
This Verstappen guy, Max Verstappen, is he still the best guy, or is he the second best guy now? Has he been passed?
He's probably still considered the best driver, though he doesn't have the best platform anymore.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna watch that F1 movie. And I've never watched a full F1 race, but I'm going to watch that F1 movie, and then I'm going to fancy myself a F1 expert after I see the movie.
That's what we all do.
That's how I roll, baby.
What was the guy's name again?
Max Verstappen.
He said, so
Is
I guess.
Is that why he doesn't win? Because he keeps stopping?
No, he wins.
Max is biggest winner in the last
ever.
Yeah. They talked about him. He had a collision with a guy named George Russell.
Who's on. So Russell is the heir apparent to being the superstar with the team that Max used to be on.
Mercedes.
Yeah, so Lewis Hamilton left Mercedes to move over. So Max and Mercedes have hated each other for a long time.
Okay.
And Russell is a kind of a pretty boy up-and-comer.
Well, it says
took him out, baby.
Verstappen was given a 10-second penalty for causing the collision after he appeared to let Russell overtake on the entry of Turn 5, only to accelerate and drive into the side of the Mercedes. During the post-race interviews, when asked if he caused the collision on purpose, he said, "Does it matter?" But now he has come out and admitted that it was a mistake, and he says it was not right and it should not have happened.
Oh, he took him out. He took it. If this was NASCAR, it'd just be another day.
He said we had an exciting strategy and a good race in Barcelona till the safety car came out. Our choice, and this is how you know it's a Euro sport. He spells tire, T-Y-R-E. Our tire choice to the end and some moves after the safety car restart fueled my frustration, leading to a move that was not right and shouldn't have happened. I always give everything out there for the team, and emotions can run high. You win some together, you lose some together. See you in Montreal.
Yep.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn, dirty work. So is he going to be suspended or something?
They're not going to suspend him. He deserves it.
Dude, if you cause a wreck on purpose?
Yeah, he deserves it, but they won't.
Do people ever die in F1?
They used to.
Sheesh. All right. We ran off a listener during that last segment, guys. I hate to break it. But then we talked F1, which is the sport of kings, apparently. We got some more sports to talk on the other side, including history being made. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening this Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 210-853-0389. That's 210-853-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Divorce isn't failure, it's freedom. And when you have the right team behind you, it's a whole lot easier. Get your freedom back before Father's Day and avoid getting stuck with just half. Contact Barton & Associates now at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Canny here. Night owl, early bird, or too tired to people today? That's why there's 5-Hour Energy. Whether you're tackling adult stuff or off on some random adventure, it's the little bottle that's always got your back. And with over 15 flavors like watermelon, tropical burst, cherry, and peach mango, you'll definitely find a favorite. Want options? Build your own 12 or 24 pack online, then have it shipped right to your door. Or simply grab one on the fly at your local grocery or convenience store. Visit 5hourenergy.com today.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in DC.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payout via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are still dealing with this closure on the north side on Wurzbach Parkway. Early this morning, a closure with a cement truck rollover accident. So there's a lot of debris on the roadway. They're in the process of getting that all cleaned up. So still closed, Wurzbach, eastbound, westbound, Jones-Malzberger on over to 281. On 35 Frontage Road, southbound Rittiman, disabled vehicle has the right lane blocked. On 281 northbound, that connector to 1604, disabled vehicle is blocking the right lane of the connector. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
God bless and birds up. UTSA takes down #2 Texas and wins the Austin Regional Championship. UTSA moves on to play UCLA in the Super Regional. The NBA Finals are set as the Pacers finished off the Knicks in Game 6 Saturday, 125-108. NBA Finals begin Thursday, a game you can catch right here. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
9:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You may have noticed something happened this weekend. Calendar flipped to June. It is now June.
18 days from the beginning of summer. Count.
What a time.
Yeah.
You would think by the time June came around, if you were a professional baseballing organization, your team would have 10 wins by now.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
the Colorado Rockies are now 9-50. It is the worst record through 59 games of any major league team in the modern era, which goes back to 1901. This is the most fascinating number. They have played 20 series this year. They have been swept in 10 of those series. That is...
So, when you see this, and obviously this is by design.
Yeah.
What should happen? I mean, there should be a penalty for this, right?
I mean, what can you...
There's the market will take care of itself, obviously. You don't win, nobody goes. But when you are losing on purpose and still making money...
I mean, the penalty should come from the fans. That's my biggest issue with like, I tell people all the time, if you want your team to be better than this...
But if they don't want to be better, though.
No, but if you want them to...
But I don't... But when was Colorado good? Last time Colorado was worth anything? 25 years ago?
It's been a while.
When they first began? So if I'm a Denverite and I'm a baseball fan and I can't leave and
don't show up at the games.
And I don't. But if I don't go there, I don't get anything. I don't get any baseball. You know, the Europeans have a lot of problem, but this relegation thing needs to be discussed a little bit more. In the era of tanking, in the era of chasing the next big draft pick, in the era of this, I think there always needs to be a countermeasure. And I think when I watch Utah, which is probably going to tank again this year, they're going to throw it all in again because they ain't got it. When I watch some other NFL teams that they ain't got it and they're going to be lousy again, there ought to be a price to pay. I don't know what the price is, but I'm talking about the owner has to suffer. The owner should not be allowed to sit around, do nothing, and make money, and not allow fans in this region. You know what? You're a baseball fan in Colorado and you want to be a fan of somebody local, chew on this, brother.
Yeah, don't go to the games.
Well, but baseball as a whole is suffering because of this.
Yeah.
So shouldn't baseball have some way to make the Rockies pay? Like, guess what? You want to act like this? That's fine. Next year, you're AAA.
That'd be ideal, but that'll never ever happen. I mean, there's too much money invested in it. Like, there's too much money invested in a major league franchise. Because what are you going to do? You going to call up the Sacramento River Cats or whatever?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I know as a Colorado fan, I'd rather go watch a team that's trying to play and trying to win than do this.
Yeah. Since the Rockies went to the World Series in 2007, think about that, 2007, they have had a winning record 4 times in the last 18 years.
You penalize the owner. Guess what? Any profits you had this year for this bad, you got to something has to change. This because I feel terrible for those fans in these areas that are never, ever, ever going to have a winner. And baseball doesn't like this.
No.
They can't appreciate the fact that they've got a team in 2025 that hasn't won 10 games in 3 months.
Yeah. Well, baseball didn't like it last year when the White Sox were the worst team in history. Now they've got a team that's like, oh, yeah, hold my beer. Like, that's what's crazy is like they're like, we just went through this. The White Sox were, I mean, if you had said, looking at the White Sox last year, that it would be, like, if I said, how long do you think it'll be before there's a team as bad as the White Sox were last season? I mean, what would your guess have been?
It would have been, I mean, this is biblical. They were worst in a half a century. So you go, well, by the numbers, it'll be another half a century before I see something like this again.
Yeah, a team,
and here it sits.
They went 41 and 121 last year. I mean, that is, you're talking about that's a 25% winning percentage. That's pretty pathetic. But 9-50, you're not even close.
And yet the ownership, they're not suffering. There's no. So what is the fix? The fix isn't just, oh, if you're that bad, you'll get lucky and get a pick. No, bad teams don't want to be good.
But at the same time, it's hard for me to say, like, the Rockies are, like, they're not trying because look at their lineup.
Oh, they're not trying.
I mean, you can say that they're I don't mean that they're not trying. I mean, like, you can say management isn't trying to put a competitive product on the field.
Players don't tank.
Yeah.
Players trying to get paid. They want to play well. I'm not blaming the players. I'm playing the guys that are putting the players out on the field and how they're being put out and when they're being used and how they're being used. That's the penalty. And this is an age-old argument. But when I see 2 years in a row did we have the worst basketball season ever for the bottom 3 teams? Like, literally, we had the worst season for the lowest ever.
Yeah.
We've gone too far with this. And there should be some sort of penalty, not to the fans, not to the players, not to the administrators, to the owners. If you are so bad that you can't put something out on the field, either you pay a price or you have to sell the team.
Yeah.
I mean, over a decade, if you can't win 26% of your games, you got to sell, man. You are an absentee landlord.
I would be up for a world where relegation happens every 10 years or so. Like if you said,
over
hey,
the last decade, you have been this bad. You don't deserve it.
If you can't make the playoffs in a 10-year span, you're out. Now, that would at least give you some sort of, okay, it's year. So the last time the Rockies made the playoffs was 2018. So now this is year 7 that they're in right now.
3 more years.
If you don't make the playoffs in the next 3 years, which would be a miraculous turnaround, like you're not a major league team anymore. I would be up for that, because then what it would do, it was force these owners to like, okay, now we got to go on a spending spree.
I got to do something, or I'm going to lose something to just reassure me that at least you're trying, because I know you're getting rich. I know you're getting paid. That's fine. You get a license to print money when you buy a professional franchise. I understand that. But you owe the league, at the bare minimum, I don't know if you owe your fans anything, but unless they buy a ticket, but you owe the league the effort to justify the profit.
Yeah.
You at the very least, you got to do something. You can't just do this, or you lose your franchise. Your penalty is all your profits for a year. You're going to have to suffer financially, financially, you're going to have to either get rid of the team or lose it, because it's unacceptable that we have leagues, and now 2 of them. I don't think football falls into this with just not enough games. But we have 2 leagues where a third of both don't give a damn and are actively, not just passively, but actively trying to lose games.
Yeah. It's a disaster.
And there's got to be a fix, and we know what the fix looks like. We just can't get from here to there.
Do you know who by WAR, wins above replacement, do you know who the best player on the Rockies is? Actually, let me ask you this. Can you name a player for the Colorado Rockies?
Let's see. Bichette's not there anymore, is he?
No.
Then
I think he retired probably 10 to 15 years ago.
Is his kid
his
playing?
son is a full-time major leaguer, yes.
I have no idea, man. I can't name a single Rocky.
That's a really sad statement, isn't it?
I can't.
A fella named Jake Bird.
I've heard that name.
Has a 1.6 wins above replacement. 1.6. Now, you would say, well, what does Jake Bird do? Jake Bird is he's the setup man. He's their 8th inning guy.
So
their best player
gets about
is a reliever, and not their closer.
He gets to close out the 8th.
What? Their second best player by WAR, who this guy has a 1.1, by the way, 1.1 wins above replacement, is their cleanup hitter.
Oh.
And starting third baseman, his name is Ryan McMahon. And he hits .207 and has 6 home runs on the season, and has struck out 69 times. 69. Nice strikeout number there. No one else on the team, after Ryan McMahon with his 1.1 and Jake Bird with his 1.6, no one else on the team is better than 1 win above a replacement player.
Wow.
Like that, how sad is that?
And how long has this been going on?
Well, the modern era of baseball started since 1900, basically, 1901. And if you look at the worst teams to ever do it, and then let's go top 10. Okay. Number 1 overall, Chicago last year. The Mets, of course, their first year were terrible. Detroit back in 03. So that's 2 in the last 25 years, not in the last 125. Then 2018, the Orioles went 47-115. That's 3 in the top 10 over the last 100 years. So a third of the worst teams to ever do it have happened in the last decade.
Yeah.
And this game's been going on 100 years. That's a negative trend that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
And we can keep going down. We still have a couple. We've got the 2019 Tigers. We had the 8. In 2019, we had a team with 47 wins. In 2018, we had a team with 47 wins. Last year, I had a team with just 41. And in 2003, we had one with 43. So over the last 25 years, 4 of the worst 12 teams to ever do it have been right in front of our eyes.
It's insane. That is insane. The Colorado Rockies currently have in their starting lineup, their most used lineup, have 3 players that hit better than 225. The rest of them hit somewhere between 146 and 225.
And the Mendoza, what, is 227?
No, 200 is the Mendoza.
200? I
yeah.
thought I was giving him more credit than it was.
But they have a guy. Their second baseman hits 146. Their first baseman hits 194. I mentioned their third baseman hits 207. They have 3 guys. They have a catcher who hits 265. They have a shortstop who hits 258 with real power,
Big
too.
stick, yeah.
He's got 3 homers and 10 batted in on the year.
Boy.
And they have a left fielder named Jordan Beck, who is, I think, it's got to be their best hitter. He's hitting 251, and he's got 8 bomb skis. I mean, this guy is the real deal. It is an absolute joke. Now, here's another thought. If they say, hey, once you get a major league team, this is the deal. You got this 10-year window. If you're not a playoff team in these 10 years, you lose your license to be a major league owner. And either you sell the team or the team is contracted, and we don't keep it as a major league organization.
I would have no problem with any of that. I think at some point, especially with baseball, that the economics have gotten to the point where you're going to have to enforce something to keep some sort of relative competitive base. Because
the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Mets are going to spend, and you know what? And I'm not opposed to that. I think I like it, actually. I like that. If you really want to win,
go win. Yeah,
you're going to spend the money to go win. It's almost like F1. Like however much you're willing to put into it is going to bring your return on success. That's what America's built on. Everybody who wants salary cap, hard cap, parity, that's called communism. We don't like that here in this country.
But the funny thing with baseball is salary cap. I don't care. How about a minimum? How about a basement that you have to pay at least $25 million? Or what it might be $75 million a year to your roster, whatever that basement should be, to at least allow some sort of competitive nature. It just is crazy to me that if I'm a Rocky fan, I wake up going, who buys a ticket to this
Stop
crap?
being a Rocky fan.
Well, who is? I imagine they're not putting more than about $5,000 in the building anyway, and they're all wearing the other team's uniform. I mean, who the hell's going? But the Rockies owners, who cares? Check's clear.
Let's see what Rockies attendance. Oh, the Rockies are experiencing a significant. Now AI is telling me this. Dun dun dun.
Taking over.
And it's got a picture of Minnie Mouse with 4 breasts explaining this to me. Over the first 18 games, they averaged 24,000 fans, which is nearly 8,000 fewer than their average 3 years ago. Despite this, some fans have shown remarkable loyalty, staying for games even when the team was losing badly, as seen in a game when attendance was 38,000.
Wow. Who are they playing?
That's
the Yankees were in
probably
town.
what it is. But yeah, apparently, like the Rockies fans are still.
I mean, there's some teams that are just going to be bad but mediocrity is one thing. Mediocre, where it's 2-1, you're probably going to lose, but you go to the game anyway. And then there is the guaranteed, I don't care what happens, something weird is going to have to occur outside of the rules for us to have even a prayer to play for years on end. And baseball just allows this to happen. Just Carry on, brothers. We'll see you in New York for the World Series.
Despite the struggles of the Rockies over the last, what do we say, 15 years since they went to the World Series, just go up until this year, which this year right now they are 11th out of 15 in the NL in attendance. 11th. That means there are 4 teams with lower attendance than this filth product that the Rockies are putting out. Now, mind you, the Rockies have lost 100 games in back-to-back years already. They're well on their way to their 3rd straight 100-game losing season. And this is their rundown of where they've been in attendance. 8th last year, 7th the year before, 6th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 5th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 5th, 5th. The Rockies fan base is loyal. They go to the games.
Or they're going to see the Dodgers, they're going to see the rest of the division
Stop
games.
showing up, man. Stop showing up, and force the ownership's hand.
If I felt like it would matter, if they stopped showing, but I've seen how many people went to the White Sox games last year. There were games where there were like 9 people in the stands.
Yeah, there was no one showing up. Well, the White Sox are better this year.
Well, that was by default. I don't think they went actively out there to fix things.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't mind the idea of contracting teams or
as we jump in and over the next week it's going to happen. It's going to get a little long, but it'll be what we're talking about is the World Cup coming to the United States. I mean, it's all starting next week. The soccer rule of relegation and all of that, I think, is something worthy of conversation as we talk about how the biggest sport in the world handles their business.
Here's the problem, though, when you say, you're not spending. Where do you think the Rockies are in payroll?
I don't know. I would assume that they're pretty down there.
21st out of 30. So when you say, if I'm the Rockies owner and you come to me and you say, hey, you got to start spending or we're going to kick your ass out of here, I say, dude, I'm 21st in payroll. My payroll is almost twice the Miami Marlins payroll. Why aren't you kicking them out?
Well, I should be. But no, you're right. And at least you're paying your players. I mean, Miami, okay, what the hell's going on down there?
$67 million payroll in Miami. To put that into perspective, the highest paid team, the Mets, is spending $323 million, over 5x.
It's just not.
You're not trying.
Yeah, that's not.
You're not trying.
Well, they're trying. They're just trying to make money. That's all that matters. They're going to make plenty of money.
Luckily, the Astros and the Rangers sitting at 6th and 7th in payroll. They are trying to be competitive.
We crown a AAA national champion, don't we?
I think so. But
there's no way you could do that.
You can't, because that's
another team's
team. The AAA team, let's say it's the Padres AAA team is the best team. Now you're going to make them a team, and now the Padres farm system is gone. That you can't. It doesn't work that way.
No, that won't work. I'm trying to find a way to put Colorado to play in the Rockhounds.
Just kick them out.
You lose your franchise.
You got a 29. Now you've got 29 teams. But
how do I not penalize the fans of Colorado?
You do. You have to. They've got to suck it too, because it's not fair. I'm not saying it is fair, but sorry, friends, you don't deserve a franchise. Or just say, hey, 10 years, your ownership license is up. You can either sell the team or you just don't.
I think that's
you won't have a team here anymore.
I think you have to sell the team.
And what are you going to do if you're the Rockies owner and you've got a lease on the building? Are you going to sell the team, or are you just going to say, fine, I'll sit on my hands and just wait? No, because then you're going to start hemorrhaging money.
We'll tell you how much we're going to buy it for you in 10 years. You don't make it, we're going to buy it for X. You got 10 years. Go.
Yeah, but
it'll be a profit. You'll make money.
Yeah, then you're going to have guys who are like,
we'll guarantee you a profit.
No, I wouldn't even say that.
You'll get 3% a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't give them anything. Hell with those guys. All right, let's hit a break. We'll get to the world outside of sports without pornography on the other side. Yeah. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you guys about Carbach. Oh, that sweet, sweet Carbach. I threw a 12-pack of Hopadillo in the fridge last night. That'll be helpful as I do some moving this evening. That's the post-move brewskis are my Hopadillos there. But they've got something for everybody. If you're not for IPAs like Rob doesn't go for IPAs. There's something in the lineup for you. Rob really likes that rhubarb, the new sour fruited wheat beer. Very, very tasty. It's going to be a great summertime beer. Now that it's heating up here, get your hands on some of that rhubarb. Give it a try. I know it might sound outside the box, and it is outside the box, but I promise you, you won't regret giving it a try. Love Street is their Cole-style blonde. You're going to find that all over the city, and they've got Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach. I saw Jason Minix up at the Rangers game drinking a Love Street as well. So, guys, there's something for everybody in their lineup. You're going to love it, and it's all over our city. They've done a really good job making sure their beer is everywhere in San Antonio, not just in the stores, but in the bars and restaurants as well. So when you're out and about, you're doing your moving, you're watching your games, whatever you're doing this week, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are still dealing with this closure on the north side on Wurzbach Parkway. Early this morning, a closure with a cement truck rollover accident. So there's a lot of debris on the roadway. They're in the process of getting that all cleaned up. So still closed, Wurzbach, eastbound, westbound, Jones-Malzberger on over to 281. On 35 Frontage Road, southbound Rittiman, disabled vehicle has the right lane blocked. On 281 northbound, that connector to 1604, disabled vehicle is blocking the right lane of the connector. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Oh, wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
All right. Yeah. Let Jimmy come over. 109er says San Antonio would support baseball. I don't think they would. I think
they're trying to get football.
The argument has always been, and I do think that San Antonio, Austin, we now have to consider them both.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I do think baseball we would support. I don't think they would ever – they'd be financially like the Royals. I don't think we'd be able – I think they'd be able to sell plenty of tickets. I don't think they'd be able to fill the luxury boxes, which would be my concern.
But here's the thing. Would they be able to put the money together to build a stadium?
No. Well, again, it has to be San Antonio and Austin. And I think that I would say this. I would never start a franchise in this area. I would bring – if I was going to get baseball, it would have to be an established one that got here. That would bring some history.
Like what Vegas is doing?
Whatever. Yeah, I don't think that we would have the wherewithal to wait 5 years for a startup to grow into something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I just don't think that we have the financial wherewithal or the patience to do that. But if you brought in an established team that had some history, now obviously a great team doesn't move to San Antonio, a terrible one does. But, you know, if a team like Colorado were to arrive, I think with the history in that it would help to kind of grow that. But
the Central Texas Marlins. We'd call them the Centex Marlins.
We will always be the Sancho there, and we're not going to get a baseball team until they're playing 50 and they're playing all over the world. But I do think that we would buy the tickets. We just wouldn't be able to support with the business side of things.
Yeah, and the fact that the Rangers, besides the Vegas Stadium, we won't count that because building on the Las Vegas Strip is more expensive than anything imaginable. But the Rangers, so let's just say they built a stadium like the Rangers built, which is the second newest major league stadium. That was a $1.2 billion.
We can't afford that.
Yeah, it's just not. It just
would
won't
take
happen.
a wealthy owner kicking in 90%. No, we can't afford that. But I've always stood by the fact that the reason we can is because we've supported a basketball team because we have 42 chances to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have 41 plus whatever. And I think when you spread the mayonnaise out, we're far more likely to be able to support a team like that than
an 81.
Well, or an 80. Well, I would say football. The professional football side of things is a little bit different because we have enough of the bigger companies to support as far as the sweet stuff. I don't think we have enough people to buy the $300 tickets. I don't think we could afford that.
Yeah. Although if it was – I also think NFL will always be tricky here because it's just such a Cowboys town.
Yeah, the locale.
And I don't know that it ever changed.
No, you're right. Jerry was brilliant from the get-go. He always roped off San Antonio, knowing full well we were probably the next market to want one, but he made us fans early on, brought his team, did everything right, and now we're always a Cowboy
It's
market.
a Cowboy town, and I think Jerry...
And we're fine with that, quite frankly.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that you'd wish the drive was a little closer to go see a game, but the guys who have the means to do it don't have a problem flying up there and watching a game.
And the fact of the matter is, I think we all know how many of us really can afford a $450 ticket. One might fall in our lap every now
like
and
the
again.
Taste of the North Side. Those are, so those people that went to that, those are.
And if you can afford a $450 ticket, you can afford a $200 flight up there. You can afford a $200 hotel room, and then so it's not a big deal. But that's a limited amount of people here.
But you go to San Antonio, you think about a baseball game. You could go to a game today. Say that the San Antonio Rockies were playing. You could go get a $35 ticket.
Yes,
and go hang out for the afternoon. And I think that San Antonio would be very much able to support them that way. We just wouldn't have enough corporate sponsors to fill those suites. That's the primary sticking point.
And like you said, you'd have to have somebody come in and build that building because those things. You've got to say, okay, why should we pick you? And that means look at this beautiful building we're willing to invest in.
And we did that with the Alamo Dome.
Yep, it didn't work. Did not work. So, I don't know. All right, let's take a quick look at what's going on in the world outside of sports. Did you see remember a couple months ago, the Oasis tour was going to...
biggest thing in the world.
Huge. People have been paying thousands of dollars for tickets. Would it shock you to know that Liam and Noel Gallagher still haven't rehearsed together even once, despite the Oasis tour being just weeks away?
I think it'll make for a better show.
Yeah, they've got a run of stadium shows kicking off in July. Noel has been working on musical arrangements and fine-tuning the set list. The first concert's in Cardiff on the 4th of July. But Liam has said that he's yet to even get in the studio with Noel, and they haven't worked together in over 15 years. And that's the same goes for Paul Arthurs, Jim Archer, Andy Bell, and Mikey Rowe, the rest of the band. None of them have rehearsed together since the announcement of this tour.
How would you like to be their promoter? Find out. First of all, these dudes, even on the best of times, it's about to at the best of times about to explode.
Well, they are doing what they call the Rolling Stones protocol, which it is what Mick Jagger and Keith Richards used to do.
Go to Paris and do a bunch of heroin?
No, it was keep them apart as much as humanly possible other than when they're on stage together, because otherwise
they'll kill each other.
They don't want to work together. Like, they're banging each other's girlfriends, and like they don't so the whole goal with these brothers, I think, is to keep them away from each other until the last minute, throw them on stage, do a show, separate them, get them out of there.
So, okay.
It's like the gladiators and the lions in ancient Rome. They go out, they fight, and then you got to put them in separate cages, because if you leave them in the same cage, one of them is going to be dead tomorrow.
So this could be, if not the most highest grossing tours of all time.
Oh, it's going to be way up there.
It'll be up there. So
way up there.
You don't think they could put away their differences to go make $100 million each?
What I would do is I would use AI.
Well, when you were saying that, the first thing I would think of was
I'd have
Milli Vanilli's show. I hope that tape works halfway through the show.
I'd have Liam Gallagher with 3 huge boobies playing guitar.
Well, seriously, now that you know that they have not worked out, they have not practiced, and on 4th of July, they're going to be in Cardiff.
Yep.
We got about 6 weeks. How much you think that's going to be real? Much of that is going to be just Liam propped up against a microphone with the words coming out of the speakers.
It's going to be it's going to be a hologram. Champagne soup and
standing next to Milli or Vanilli, going, well, we thought we could just do this.
All right. This gal in Florida has been arrested. Catherine Taylor, 61 years old, for stealing. And What she's stealing is the weird thing. She is stealing items being left on grave sites and using them for lawn decorations.
Like the vases and...
Yes, and benches and tombstones, and
they weren't using them.
I bet it's got to be so badass at Halloween, her house. But but on most normal days, it's a little conspicuous. First of all, like it's like, what's going on here? Why is Henry Ruggs? Not Henry. It's not a good one. Henry Douglas's tombstone sitting here on this lady's lawn.
What kind of things did she have? Like maybe one of those eternal flames?
It's like little random tchotchkes and keepsakes, wind chimes, bird feeders, whatever she thinks is interesting at a cemetery, she just takes and puts in her front yard.
That's weird, man. You know what? I need to look in your house.
I need to know exactly what the hell is going on.
I got to make sure you don't have a basement with a trap door. I'm going to have to come in and look around.
Yeah.
Make sure.
I need to know. She is dubbed a habitual cemetery thief.
That's a bad thing to be. No,
I don't want. I wouldn't want to be known as that.
I promise you, there's more to this story. I promise you.
I mean, she is Florida man.
Well, you're roaming around cemeteries in the middle of the night stealing what's on top of the graves. You've done worse. I promise you.
A flight attendant on British Airways has been arrested after being discovered dancing naked in a lavatory during a transatlantic flight.
So far, I don't have a problem. Was she on break?
He was on duty.
Oh, he's on duty.
Yeah, he was on duty.
Well, some people get completely undressed to go have a sit down.
He disappeared from his duties during meal service on a busy flight carrying 470 people. Flight attendants initiated a search when he failed to report for his assignment.
A search? You look down the... What do you mean search? It's a
they
plane.
said, "Where the hell is he? Where's our fella at?" And they couldn't find him. It's like, dude, it's time to serve the meals. Where the hell is he? They finally found him in the bathroom, completely nude. This was at 37,000 feet, and dancing on the loo, if you will. The discovery shocked the crew supervisor, who immediately took action to address the situation. Flight attendants quickly clothed him using spare pajamas designated for first-class passengers. They then escorted him to the premium cabin section, where they secured him in a luxury seat for the flight's duration.
Sounds like I need to get caught.
Sounds like he had a win out of this deal, yeah. But they did contact authorities during the flight, alerting to police to the incident. They arrested him, and you may be...
Is it drugs or dehydration?
You may be surprised drugs.
Normally it's... Well, he was dehydrated.
Yes. He was dehydrated from all the drugs he ingested before the flight took off.
Did he say that he was on drugs?
Crew members suspect that he consumed drugs during or before the incident. One anonymous colleague described the situation as extraordinary, noting that the steward appeared to be under the influence of substances while the aircraft flew over the ocean.
Sounds like pretty good drugs.
Dude, it's got to be the good stuff.
Stripping down and dancing on the plane.
It's got to be the good stuff.
Wasn't a bad trip.
His foot fell in the toilet, and then he had to do the meal service barefoot, like I did.
Blue foot.
Yeah,
he was doing the blue foot stomp.
He's like me, running around barefoot. There was a 24-mile chase in Illinois. Two men are accused of stealing $1,400 worth of goods from a Dollar Tree.
That's a big haul, baby.
That's a lot of stuff.
They stole a pallet.
Was it a big rig?
There was a 130-mile-an-hour chase spanning 2 counties. Now, what do you think they would have stolen?
If you're driving that fast, or even from a dollar store, you got cigarettes.
Well,
tobacco.
A bunch of blunts.
They stole. They each stole a backpack and a laundry basket. That's what they used to carry the other items they were going to steal. They stole antacids, memory supplements, and women's Rogaine.
There's women's Rogaine?
Apparently so. $1,400 worth of these things. Women's Rogaine. Investigators say the driver nearly hit several other cars, a motorcycle, and even avoided stop sticks. In total, deputies were after these guys for 24 and a half miles, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Officers eventually called off the chase when it got up to 130 miles an hour. They found the suspect's vehicle a little later on. 33-year-old Gindeel Lyons and 31-year-old Sylvester McCurry ran away, and a dozen officers swarmed they ran onto the highway.
So they had antacids, women's Rogaine, and what else?
And memory supplements. I
like
forgot.
Prevagen?
Yes. Yeah.
I guess that's stuff you could sell online or something.
I don't know what you could do.
No, you
maybe
sell it at the Pulga.
Is that what it is? I mean, that sounds like it was targeted. Like they were going for the three highest dollar things.
Around Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Illinois-Milwaukee border.
A lot of bald women up there.
And finally,
apparently,
there's a big need for the Rogaine up there.
A big celebrity got paroled this weekend.
Mr. Chrisley?
No.
Mrs. Chrisley?
Patricia Krenwinkel has been granted parole.
Whoa, wait a minute.
And now some of you may be
that's
saying,
one of the Manson?
That is.
What?
One of the Manson family members has been released on parole. Don't worry. She killed 7 people and an unborn baby.
Cut it out of the mother's stomach.
But
she did her time.
Yeah,
but she's done her time.
Yeah.
I'd heard when she was up for parole for like 3 or 4
times.
Yes.
The last couple.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm sorry.
The 3 gals that were arrested, Susan Atkins died in 2019. She was the one that would have been hot had she just waxed her lip. There was just
yeah.
Well, they didn't have wax back in the
that and the swastika on the forehead is a real turnoff to me. But she died in 2019 in prison.
What about Squeaky Fromm? How's she doing?
She was the snitch, remember?
She
got out a little earlier.
She tried to kill the president.
Yes. Yeah. Leslie Van Houten was the other one, though, and she actually got released on parole a couple of years ago.
I didn't know there were some that had already gotten out.
Yes. But
don't let them room together. Weird things happen.
But Krenwinkel was the one who was like in the mix, and it says, they said, the parole board said, this decision does not minimize or forgive the criminal conduct or the loss your victims and their families have suffered. At the time of these crimes, you exhibited all the hallmark features of youth. When we look at subsequent growth, you have made strides, and this is evidenced in the work you have done. She has been in there for 55 years and has had 0 disciplinary actions taken against her in prison. She's a 77-year-old woman now.
Well, she got the death penalty. When she was convicted,
in California,
the state
doesn't have
was
it
going
anymore.
to kill her. She shouldn't even be here.
Right.
Yeah.
But they took it away.
I'm sorry you don't get out for that, man. I'm sorry. She might be a lovely old lady. That's fine. You paid your price. You still got to stay. You don't get to go free.
That's unforgivable.
No, not in Texas. Not in Texas.
I'm of the belief, like, this lady's worse than Charles Manson.
She did it.
Charles Manson didn't kill anybody.
No, I'm sorry.
This gal, and I get it, like, oh, I was under the influence of a man.
I know. You were.
I was under the influence of drugs.
You were. I agree.
Yeah.
And you can stay in prison.
Yeah, I'm not letting you out of here. I'm sorry. So Patty Krenwinkel now free to roam the streets.
I'd like to find out that a Manson family member moved in next to you in the nursing home.
Do you have? There's not like.
Tell me what really happened.
Is there a Manson family registry, a Manson family offender registry? So it's like you could look up and see if a Manson family member lives in your neighborhood.
Well, that wouldn't mean it'd be like a nursing home. You just find out that Martha next door cut 8 people up when she was 25.
I guarantee you.
She's fine now.
She's good, but she's better.
I guarantee you, there are 30-year-old men who are going to try and hook up with her because they want to say they banged one of the Manson family women.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they get everything they deserve.
That's a big notch on the belt.
Oh, yes.
The Eskimo buddies with Charles Manson.
Be an Eskimo bro with Charlie.
Charlie Manson.
Oh, yes.
Gave that woman parole. That is just, that's amazing to me.
Yeah. It's crazy. She's the second one out.
Yeah?
Yeah, the gal on the right, that's the other one. She's the one.
Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, go back to the picture. Susan Atkins is the one that died But then that
Which one? The one you're talking about that was on the left, right?
Yeah,
that was the one with
that's the one with the mustache.
The lip hair,
You can tell, look, a little bit right there.
Yeah,
Something
Leslie Van Houten is the one on the right. She, by default, became the hotter one because of Susan's mustache.
Right.
And Patricia Krenwinkel was the least attractive of the three.
And it's only the three, right? That was it?
Well, yeah, because Squeaky Fromm. Well, there was more, but they were the three that were involved in actual murders.
In the Tate murders.
Them and that Squeaky Fromm who snitched on them to get leniency.
I remember that.
But yeah, Patricia Krenwinkel at the time in the 60s was the least attractive of the three Manson gals. And based on what I saw yesterday, she's not exactly like she's aged better than Jenna Jameson, but it's still not something I'd be interested in.
So was the others are still alive, right? Like that Tex Watson dude,
I think
he's
Tex
still
Watson
alive.
is still alive. Charlie's dead. Susan Atkins is dead. But yeah, a lot of them are still alive.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Come on down to Texas, do some sightseeing.
Josh says Pledge is single. He going to do some show prep for the Blitz on this topic?
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Can you imagine if Pledger
right there.
Imagine if Pledger shows up at work and is like, guys, I got a girlfriend. What's her name? Oh, it's Leslie Van Houten, or it's Patricia Krenwinkel.
Mother Krenwinkel.
Yeah.
Call her.
God. No, I mean, I respect. You know what I mean? Respect.
So that'd be some wild stuff, man.
All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do on the other side. Let's hit up the daily lines. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Libby Dunn with an instructional video on how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this particular instructional video, you might want to take a look, especially if you don't know how to eat crawfish. I mean, it's
even if you do know how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, go take a look at that. It's very educational, by the way. Yes.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Missions fans, level up your Tuesdays with AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium. Presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Unlock $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Don't miss this high-score deal. First pitch is 7:05 p.m. Grab your tickets now at samissions.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Guys, starting TRT has never been easier. Other places charge hundreds of dollars just for the test, but visit any Synergenics or Low T center and get the consultation and test totally free. Treatment is personalized to you, and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment, you're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath the bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in DC.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
I went way too long on the last segment, so we got a quick daily lines here. Rockies are at the Marlins. Marlins minus 200. Think about that. The Marlins are minus 200 favorites over a major league team. That's embarrassing. Red Sox minus 150 hosting the Angels. The Brewers are at the Reds. Reds minus 120. Jack Flaherty goes for the Tigers. They're at Chicago. Tigers minus 205. Stephen Kolek goes for the Padres. They're at the Giants. Giants with Logan Webb minus 180. Joe Ryan and the Twins minus 160. They're at the A's, who have lost 8 straight. A's are plus 135 today. Luis Severino and the New York Mets and Paul Blackburn are at the Dodgers. Dustin May going for the Dodgers. They are minus 170. The NBA, we mentioned game 1. The line is going to be minus 9. Oklahoma City minus 9. And the game tomorrow night, before that, hockey tips off minus 130. The Oilers tomorrow, at least for right now. Panthers back at plus 110. Mellow Mushroom. Let's go caller number 5. You get a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom for a Mellow Mushroom Monday right there, 1604 in Stone Oak. Caller number 5, some of the best pizza in San Antonio. That'll do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Blitz coming up at 2.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. This Saturday, June 7th, drift